Everyone, welcome back. For everyone that's new, welcome to our stream, the Crystal Coven Chimeras Tomb of Annihilation X Homebrew campaign, Cosmic War Crimes. I think that's the name for the campaign that we've been rolling with. Rather than have that be an episode, I figured we'll just roll with the theme and call the entire series Cosmic War Crimes. Basically, hello. Okay, so here's what I have on the list for today. We use maps. I subscribe to Tom Kartos and Map Hammer on Patreon. You can go check them out. I subscribe to Tom Kartos, who makes maps, some of which you see before you. I believe this is one of the Tom Kartos ones. I subscribe to Tom Kartos for $2 a month, and Map Hammer fluctuates between $3 and $5 a month on Patreon. You can go check them out. If you like any of the maps that you see, all the other maps are official D&D content. So if you don't recognize it, it's either Tom Kartos or the wonderful Map Hammer. As far as the music, what you're hearing right now, special shout out always number one because of the personalized email that they sent me, the Guild of Ambience, Enchanted Lands Volume 1 and 2. You can check them out. They're fantastic. They have a lot of free to use ambiances, from nature sounds to just mythic, fantasy, etc. sort of general ambiance for D&D. Check them out, patreon.com/Guild of Ambience. And that's the only link that they have over here. They have a couple of other ones, but on the Enchanted Lands Volume 2, that is their primary list. As far as Darren Curtis music, we also use some music from the wonderful Darren Curtis, patreon.com/Darren Curtis Music, and DarrenCurtisMusic.com. Mackay Symphony, artstation.com/Lally Ashvili. All of these links will be in the description as well. You can also search Mackay Symphony, that's Makai Symphony, on YouTube. And Cjbeards music on YouTube, soundcloud.com/CJBeards, and on YouTube and twitter.com/CJBeards or @CJBeards, also on Facebook, searching for Cjbeards music. You can check out any of these amazing artists. And we also have some individual plugs for dice trays, which are really cool. For one of our mutual friends, who I'm going to plug on Etsy, we will put the link in the Etsy shop. Well, the link to the Etsy shop, we'll put that in the description of the video. Now, as far as everybody else, I'm gonna let all of you. Oh, is that actually a dice tray?
It's one of the dice holders that she makes. They're little octoboys, and she does do custom colors. What Emma has is one of the dice trays. Which also can hold some dice.
Yeah, and there's a D20 for reference.
Yeah, so like Crystal makes the octoboys, those, and then I'm not sure if she's still making the summoning circles.
The camera's got a little weird, and I'm not sure why.
L joined.
Oh, okay.
Hello. If I had known that y'all were gonna be starting so late.
Oh yeah.
All right,
Well,
so
the thing that I was doing ended early, so
we are going to.
Now you don't have to be a barbarian, Emma.
yeah. I know Emma literally just messaged me and I went, I'm actually gonna be here.
All right, in that case, I need a quick minute to fix the cameras.
Sorry.
That's okay. Somebody quick fill time for me. Somebody MacGuffin. Everyone talk about yourselves.
The web
I
door,
can tell you
man.
what I was
You
doing.
can check me out on.
I can tell you what I was
everybody
doing.
at one point is what's beautiful about this.
Okay, so here's what I was doing.
Can I
So,
plug myself? We
I
live.
was
All right, Rory, can you do some more plugs? Yeah, do some more plugs for the dice trays.
So, well,
Help!
okay, yeah. She makes the octoboys and the little tree trunk things, and then I also do art.
Yes, you do, and it's really amazing.
You can find me at Rory Brand Designs on Twitter, which I hardly use, Tumblr, which I hardly use, Instagram, which I somewhat use, and then TikTok, which I am addicted to, but it's not just art, so I'm so sorry.
I also do art. I'm just that gamer regarding literally everything because I'm on creative. On creative.
So, for those of you that watch the VOD, which we do have,
I've been told that I'm a bit quiet.
Daniele Epic Soundtracks, we're going to be using some music from them. They're wonderful. You can check them out on SoundCloud, DanieleEpicSoundtracks.jimdo.com, and on Facebook and on YouTube, soundcloud.com/psychics, SYCIIX. All of this will be in the VOD and the YouTube description as well once it goes up on YouTube. So, last time, when we last left the Crystal Coven Chimeras, you had traveled from Mabala, where you had fought a green hag and destroyed her flesh construct. You had burned down her hut, her flesh construct, and felt a sense of relief and fulfillment for validating the fallen people of Mabala, who had all been killed and murdered by this green hag, methodically killed, murdered, and eaten by this green hag. You had felt this breath that you had taken a breath of fresh air and felt this this breeze kind of flow through the valley after you had defeated the hag and kind of sent her back into the jungle, standing amidst the sorrow of Mabala. From there, you traveled across the small patch of wasteland that is just to the west of the Aldani Basin, further into the jungle towards Orolunga, where you were told to seek wisdom by an old man at Port Nyanzaru, an old seer of some kind who had grabbed your collars and shouted at you to seek wisdom at Orolunga before collapsing onto the ground, unconscious. No memory of what had just happened or why he had said that. Continuing to march west with your frost giant friend Thea Permafrost ahead of you, you tried to make contact with your frost giant friend, but there was some sort of magical interference. Upon reaching the Temple of Orolunga, you found out why. The temple itself is an ancient construct that radiates pure, concentrated magical energy, kind of almost as a focal point for the weave itself. One of the strongest sources of transmutation and illusory magic in all of Faerun. Being more of transmutive and illusory properties, it's more of a lost site that people will seek for wisdom or for that otherworldly experience, and to experience that type of raw magic. I think it would lead one to believe that most of the self-serving entities of the world, even though it's a strong font of magic, not being able to create any weapons of war with it, makes sense as to why the site has been visited and frequented. Granted, in a very dangerous part of the world, but that would explain why there's not a full-scale military operation here from anyone. It's transmutive and illusory type of magic, as strong as it is. Upon reaching the temple itself, you had met with some forest spirits, the Chwingas, who had helped you solve the riddle of how to climb atop the steps, the magical steps, which seem to block your path, regardless of how you tried to bypass or solve or go around in any way. The temple itself seemed to push you back, and regardless of what you did, just simply did not allow passage up to the top of the pyramid until you solved the riddle that the Chwingas were trying to impart to you by collecting some of the local flora, a vibrant orchid, and there was an orchid, and what was the other one? Refresh my memory off the top of my head.
Feather.
There was a red parrot feather, an orchid, and another flower.
And a hibiscus.
Hibiscus. Okay. Orange hibiscus and purple orchid, right? Or did I have it the other way around?
It was first the hibiscus, then the orchid, then the parrot feather, I think.
Switched. Orchid, feather. Oh, sorry. Hibiscus, feather, orchid.
Right.
And it was orange, red, purple.
Yes, okay. An orange hibiscus flower for each of you, a red parrot feather for each of you, and a purple orchid for all of you. With all three of these material components, the pyramid allowed you to pass. Thank you, Dracula. Alucard. After reaching the top of the step pyramid, your destination. You entered this small chamber where you saw just the outline of a snake-like figure inside that disappeared into the mists. Emerging from the mists, however, was a human and a lizard folk. Your secondary objective that you've been tracking or searching for this whole time since you first set out from Port Nyanzaru. Artus Climber, the Ring of Winter. The prize that the Dreadlord of Neverwinter of the Savage North wants for herself. Dreadlord Halia Thornton rides atop the White Dragon Cryovain and commands an ancient sword that was forged in the Forge of Spells in the Lost Mine of Phandelver. A sword of command, a sword of draconic command. He is also the keeper of the White Dragon Mask. This is content from our other campaigns that all connect to this campaign. We have 4 games running. 3 games are all in the same world. Things that people can do in one game can directly affect the others. It's very interesting, and I very much like that. But you came face to face with Artus Climber and his companion, Dragonbait. Seemingly nonchalant and very casual, they attempted to pass by and just said, "We'll be on our way." But one of your guides, your Zhentarim attaché, had drawn her longsword, her elegant, rune-covered longsword, the fire, the flame weapon, ignited it, and stood in front of him, initiating combat for all of you. Before we roll initiative, as you're all out of initiative, as Artus Climber says, "Well, that's not very nice now, is it?" and prepares to do battle. With a flaming sword in one hand, you see Elena hold up a device in the other and flick, almost like a type of a switch on it, like a lever. It's this circular device covered in runes. She clicks it up, and the runes on it start to glow blue. She drops it onto the pyramid ground. That's where I'm going to have everyone roll initiative.
Fucking. Oh shit! Who the fuck rolled in that 20?
My boy.
Fuck.
Ooh.
I hate rolling initiative.
This is initiative. Perfect.
The D20
rolling out
dice
20
are
not
rolling
as
well
good as
for
I
me today.
Hell yeah, I did.
My initiative always sucks ass.
Trey's just slow.
He's a himbo. He's taking time to process it.
He's like, what's going on?
He was distracted by the little hibiscus carrying things because he's still thinking like, I bet there's a way I could have beat it without doing it, right?
Mhm.
It's like looking. He keeps turning and looking at him over his shoulder, like maybe if I had like grabbed one of them.
You can fucking grab it and
Maybe if
run
I
like that.
held hostage one of the forest spirits, I don't know.
Yeah.
Or like grab one and then do like the American football run thing. You just like bolt across everything. Oh god. Oh.
Who rolls higher than me? Oh no,
Frost Giant
is
rolled an
here.
8, my queen.
We were kind of hoping she wasn't here.
She's here, but she'll be late to the party.
I think that was already known. Because she was unable to connect with all of you via magical means, given the interference at the pyramid. Stands to reason.
Rory, you're upside down, by the way. Or sideways.
She was indeed here.
Okay.
Artus Climber.
I was trying to flip my camera because I was moving my iPad because I didn't like the angle it was at.
Okay.
So I had to exit out of Discord completely because I was sideways when I came back in.
Well, so I think Elena just like home in beaconed us, just alerted everyone where we are.
Thanks, Elena.
I think what she did was do something where we could do magic in here. I'm not quite sure.
Oh, that's a good point because a lot of the magic was fizzling out.
Mm-hmm. Which is
I
good
hope
because that arc.
That's just my thought on what just happened.
That's the black man.
I think she went, let's be able to do magic here.
Mm.
I'm afraid. It's fine. I am afraid, but Trey isn't scared of shit. So like,
Emma is just as excited. Allery is probably just like, fuck.
I'm like scared, but Reese is probably honestly just still tripping.
they would have run out, I think.
No, she's like, you know how like,
where are we? I'm sorry.
You know how like when you take LSD. I'm not gonna elaborate on why I know what that means. Anyways.
Okay, I have shit memory. Reese tripping?
Yeah, Reese ended up accidentally tripping because she used the magic awareness on this crazy magical fucking shit.
Okay, now I remember.
And so, but you know,
you really did go on a trip there.
But so you know how when you take LSD, it lasts for like basically until you fall asleep.
No, because I've never taken LSD.
So it does. And so I imagine she's still tripping, like not as like crazy, but like she's working on some stuff.
Dune, what did you roll for initiative?
Every time.
It's 22. I rolled high.
Well, we went 23, 20. We went 24, 23, 22, 21.
And Allery rolled a natural 20 for a 23.
How great is this wig for Nim, though?
It's very good.
Okay. So, Dune, you said
It
22?
was so easy. All I had to do was...
All right, and who else needs to be on the initiative order?
Allery, 23.
If you got like some kind of metal band or whatever, like gold bands to go over that.
Okay, who else? Everybody's on here now, right?
I also made this headband.
Seems like it.
I think so. I think we're all here.
Yeah.
All right, well, I have good news. As we jump right in with initiative, Allery Esper, you're up first.
Okay. Allery is going to 5, 10. Oh, come on. Wow! She has big things to say.
They're right on the edge of the lip of the temple. So where there's this archway, they're just inside.
They're actually on that second layer then.
So that's actually not two different layers. That is one chamber that has sort of a much larger first floor, or a much larger open area when you first walk in, and then there is this second level that is more like a symbolic sort of steeple. So it's not two levels; it's just one large interior section of the pyramid.
I see what you're saying.
Yes.
Kind of like a gazebo.
Yes.
Alright, so I can cast this from 90 feet. 5, 10, 15, 20.
You are running away.
25. Allery's gonna get way the fuck back here.
Won't you hit me?
Oh yeah, he's still within my range. I am going to cast Summon Shadow Spawn.
Okay.
What is that?
So
I love
now
this
there
spell.
is... Yes. There's a Shadow Spawn.
Ooh, I don't know. Let's see if I have anything to represent this. I gotta have something somewhere.
Yes.
Let's see, anything
It
with a
is
shadow, I'll take it.
I can
Nice.
I can draw you something for
Got
you
it.
to use next time.
Perfect.
Oh.
Okay, where is it? Where do you want
Allery's
it?
gonna cast it right here in front of these two buddies.
Okay. So, as you...
Now that thing... Sorry, go ahead.
No, you go first.
So I'm gonna cast it as Terror.
Okay.
Or I'm so sorry, as Fury.
Okay.
So it is Big Mad. It does get its own initiative. Let me roll that real quick.
Thank you, Nika-chan, for the
It
follow.
says its turn is immediately after yours.
Yeah, so we can just say that it will go right after you, which would be 23.
Perfect.
So,
So Allery summons that bitch.
Okay.
As an action. And then I think that's gonna be it for for their turn.
okay, and you said Fury, right?
Yeah, Fury.
Okay. So, as Allery's eyes begin to glow with this sort of dark purple sort of fire, they just light up, and you can see the smoke kind of smoldering out of his eyes as he just begins to channel. And almost the ground itself begins to shake ever so slightly as these shadows begin to coalesce and swirl in front of Trey. And Trey, you kind of instinctively back up as it's energy that is, it's dark energy, but it's in a different, it's in a different realm from the energy that you're familiar with. It's the energy that gives you that type of discomfort. And as this creature kind of rises up, you see this kind of writhing mass of, it doesn't look like that, I'm going to describe it. This writhing mass of sort of dark purple tentacles that forms this almost feminine figure that has these wings that stretch out behind it that are like razors. And it has these massive claws from its fingertips and this dark kind of swirling feminine form with these shadows that just and kind of swirl like a little isolated miniature tornado around it like a small storm. And it just lets out this ear-piercing scream as even Artus Climber and Dragonbait themselves, along with the rest of you, kind of recoil at the fury of this Shadow Demon as it prepares to attack. And do you have a separate stat block for the Shadow Demon over there on your end?
I do, but
Or
I
the
have it
Shadow
on
Spawn?
D&D Beyond. I don't actually have it in the Roll20, so I'll just have to roll for it separate.
Okay, if you have the Beyond 20 extension, you can roll on Roll20 with D&D Beyond.
Yes.
There's a plug for...
Well, it doesn't really appear as a stat like that. I'll show
Okay.
you later, but I have its stat block open.
Okay. As long as you got it open on your end, we get to go.
Cool. Can I have control of the token?
Yeah, give me 1 second.
Love you.
Yeah. Cute.
Alright, there you go, you're all set. You should have control of the shadowy entity.
I do. So it's gonna move. There is a mist somewhere in this room that they are in, isn't there?
Yeah, so there is a dark mist that starts kind of right behind Artus Climber and Dragonbait. They kind of just stepped out of the mist and into the foreground.
So this thing's gonna step forward.
Okay.
And now I see it only has 50 hit points. Oh,
Okay.
I'll change it here. Perfect.
There we go. That's just the
And it
default
is
for the
going-
Shadow Demon, which is the random thing that I pulled that kind of resembles what we described.
Gotcha.
I can get
Okay.
separate art for you if you have separate art, but we can do that later.
Yeah. It is going to Chilling Rend, Artus Climber.
Okay.
So that is going to be 5 feet, one target.
Artus Climber.
Your spell attack modifier to hit. Cool.
I know familiars and pets that attack are always complicated. Like a whole other thing you have to be responsible for.
It has a +7 to hit then.
Nice.
Thing's gonna
pretty
fucking
good.
kill this bitch. 1d20 +7. Ooh. Oh, does a 21 hit our friend?
21 hits.
Okay, it's gonna do.
What's this ability called again?
This is called Chilling Rend.
Okay.
It's a melee weapon attack. 1d12 +3 plus the spell's level damage. So that's gonna be a 1d +6 at the end.
What type of damage?
Roll. cold.
Okay.
1d12 plus 6.
Do you think he's immune to cold?
That's what we're gonna find out.
All right.
11 damage.
All right, so this shadowy entity from beyond starts to, the shadows coalesce into this sort of icy storm, and as it kind of almost like shadow steps from its current position, like almost phasing in and out of the shadows as it stops before Arctus. Arctus kind of, whoa. And as it swipes up with the massive claws, you can see icicles beginning to form around these claws as this feminine figure just and swipes forward. And as Arctus braces himself, you can see this energy you can see the ring just start to glow. And this, almost at the same time, this isolated storm, this second isolated miniature tornado or hurricane of swirling energy just rises to meet the shadow demon and envelops around Artus Climber. And this shadow entity just strikes through, and it's almost like striking air. And as it hits something, you can hear a shatter and a screech of pain from the creature as it recoils, kind of clutching its hand. And you can see its fingertips have shattered with the ice. And as the ice and storm around Artus Climber begins to dissipate, he just kind of...
Cool. Did that hurt the demon to attack it with that?
No, it just is resistant. You can see the claws starting to grow back without the ice on the shadow demon. Just like as their fingertips are going to those claws extend once more.
All right. Guess it's attacking Lizard Man then. And that'll be it for its turn. It can only do the one attack because I'm only in level 3.
Okay, so it turns to face the Dragonbait.
Yeah, it's like...
All right. Cool, so that's it for Allery?
Yes.
All right. Dune, you're up.
I don't wanna! Okay.
R.I.P. that pussy.
R.I.P. that pussy. I'm going to...
Now, technically, you do have an ally engaged with both of these things. So you get sneak attack.
Sneak attack!
You don't get advantage, though. You would just get sneak attack, so... So you get the extra damage if you hit, but you don't get an extra 20 to try to hit better.
Do I have range of the lizard boy? Can I see the lizard boy? Could I shoot the lizard boy?
Yes, you can. You can see. You actually have the perfect line of sight from where you are. Let me just double check.
Hi. I'm gonna sneak attack shoot that little lizard
Actually, I
boy.
think. Sorry, let me just double check one thing.
Huh.
I think you would have to move there. Yeah, you'd have to move.
Oh,
You'd have to move just a little bit to avoid
Yeah.
hitting the pillar. That's 5 feet of movement. Just a quick reposition.
Should move you from here to here.
So I'm gonna sneak attack. I just have to roll first.
Yeah, so you roll your d20.
Alright, you pull out your
or
bow.
You can hit, and with the short bow.
Take aim at the lizard man,
God damn it!
and it just goes into the mist, and behind him as he just, and you.
Now I'm not sneaky anymore.
Yes, you are. You still get sneak attack because it's engaged.
Okay.
I'll explain it to you after your turn. I'm okay. Because you just leveled up.
I don't really.
No, I don't think you get a second attack yet. So that's your thing. That's a thing. Unless you want to move.
I do want to. I want to go.
I want to get too close to me just in case they have any AoE spells. Area effect. Are you measuring the square? Whoever's measuring the square can hit the shadow demon. It is all right.
Cool. I'm trying to figure out what a 20-foot square would be. Don't worry about it.
I'm gonna. Can I hold my action?
No, you've already used
I
your
already
action.
used it.
Mhm.
That's all.
Also, Elle, your camera dropped out.
I'm gonna whisper.
It's back on,
That pussy.
so it just has to reload, I guess.
I'm kidding. night.
All right, is that the end of your turn, dude?
Yes.
Okay, all
Yes.
right. Reese, followed by Dragonbait.
Okay.
I didn't realize that Dragonbait.
Okay, wait. So who's this dude? This blue
That's
dude?
Artus.
That's your
Artus,
target.
and
That's
then
Artus
this is
Climber.
the-
That's the person you've been
and
hunting.
This is the demon
That's
guy.
the guy with the ring.
That is Alary's
That's-
Shadow Demon.
That's Alary's dude. But you can, if you're doing any sort. Well, actually, you're a barbarian. Never mind.
I don't have any magic, baby.
I was like, never mind. You're a barbarian.
Wow. Okay. Sounds very mean, girls. Anyway. Alright, I'll pull up. What's up, Arctis? Actually, I don't need to move. I have reach.
You do have reach with your crocodile halberd.
I'm gonna whack this man.
All right, so
It's
squaring
not
up with your
range.
halberd, following suit
Yeah.
from Elena, just and prepare to swing.
20 dice because they're terrible. Okay. So it's gonna be 22 to hit.
That definitely hits.
Hey.
Go ahead and roll damage.
None of us have Dispel Magic, so it's gonna be real bad if he tries to teleport.
Alright.
Hunter's mark.
That's gonna be 8 for the D10 and then 4 for the bleed thing.
Okay. Are you also adding your modifiers?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So.
Oh, I didn't add a modifier to the bleed. I don't know if I'm supposed to.
Not to the bleed. That's just a straight D4.
Yeah.
But it would be your attack plus strength plus proficiency.
Yep.
So what's your total damage on the actual first hit for the halberd?
8.
Okay. And the bleed damage?
4.
Do you want to try and grapple him?
Why not?
Okay.
It has to beat a 12, I believe. Strength.
Yep, let's see. Insight survival. No, that's not a strong suit. Ooh, just made it with a 12. You kind of swing your halberd in and clip just on the side and twist, just kind of slice out with the blade. But as you try to hook it in, he's able to kind of like just take a... He's got this really ornate, nasty-looking dagger that also has runes on it. He just kind of is able to just kind of almost parry and kind of push it out with two hands as he kind of holds an arm over to the wound. As you can see the blood kind of dripping down onto the floor.
I hope he bleeds to death. I'll take my second attack then.
Okay.
So that's gonna be a natural 1.
Okay.
Oh no.
So on this one, you go to lunge forward and you actually just kind of stumble and move 5 feet into the interior of the building as you do before you're able to reset your footing.
Yikes.
And you're off balance, and that's going to give the next attack against you advantage before if no one attacks you before.
See, I told you Reese is still tripping.
Anything else on your turn?
No.
Okay.
How high is Trey and Reese's wisdom saves?
Oh no.
Oh no. My
It's just-
wisdom save is +1.
So, the dragon, well, Dragonbait, not the dragon. The lizard folk, kind of, you can see his eyes just start to glow with this golden light, and as he does, he removes this rather intimidating longsword from his back, and it has this kind of gold and silver hilt on it. And as he removes it from his back, it starts to glow with this holy fire that just, this kind of holy aura. It's almost like this wispy, ethereal, golden fire, this golden white fire that seems to engulf the blade. And it glows in the same color as his eyes. And he just kind of slowly takes a step and then increases and picks up the pace and runs towards Reese and is going to take a strike at advantage. That is a natural 20.
No.
Immediately,
aiming
I
for?
roll a natural 1, and then he rolls a natural 20. on me.
Reese.
You just took 30 damage.
So
How
that
many hit
More
points
than
does
that.
it
22, 29, 30. You take 36 points of damage.
Excuse
You
me?
take 36 points of damage from the first hit as he kind of slashes right
The
across
first
your
hit.
chest, and it burns into you, cutting through any scraps of I know it's unarmored defense, but just right in a diagonal line, and there's this big open gash across the front of your chest, and there's a small splatter of blood, but this holy fire almost cauterizes the wound, and as you are of evil alignment, it hurts. Technically, it burns, and this seething, burning pain just
Ow.
kind of sears through you. The second
don't
attack
do that.
is a 15 to hit, which I believe does not have advantage on the
15
second
does
one.
not.
Because you reset and you have this kind of smoke, this kind of smoldering from your chest from the wound that and as you kind of grit your teeth and start to build your rage, you turn to face Dragonbait and reset in a fighting position, and you have this fury in your eyes that he wasn't expecting, and he kind of tries to swing around a second time, still confident, but you're able to just kind of parry it with your halberd of your crocodile
Alright,
halberd, just
Dragonbait.
and he kind of resets and still assessing the situation.
Alright, Dragonbait, you're dead next time I fucking look at you.
Did Dragonbait move?
Yeah.
Because my roll 20 shows him in the same spot.
You did not.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. There you go. Okay.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
All right. Nim, you're up.
Dang it, there goes what I was gonna do because he moved.
Artus and Dragonbait are still in a straight line from you. If that's what you're
It's 20-foot square. I can't get Dragonbait.
Ignore Dragonbait, I would say. Our main worry is that wizard. Kill the wizard. Kill the wizard.
Okay. I am going to yeah, okay. First I'm gonna move back. Was it here? Did I? Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna move here, and then I am going to cast Bane
Okay.
on Dragonbait and Artus.
Ooh.
Okay. All right. So as your eyes, with your own magic, begin to glow, this kind of with Bane, this kind of just black smoke comes out of your eyes, and you begin to trace runes in the air. And as you do, you kind of send this dark, kind of shadowy energy, just that kind of whispers on the wind, like. And as it kind of begins to twist and twirl around Elena and Hala and Trey, and towards Artus, you said?
Artus and Dragonbait.
Oh, okay. All right. That's
Because
right.
I can choose up to 3 creatures.
All right. So that is a charisma saving throw.
That is a charisma saving throw.
All right. Let's see what you got, Artus.
My DC is 16.
Fail.
Oh,
And-
Emma, you just done the Mickey Mouse. Oh,
that's goofy.
Alright, Goofy.
It's Goofy and Mickey. The gay relationship we always
Oh,
wanted.
yeah.
Yeah.
So Dragonbait saves, but
Oh, actually, I don't think I did the. That's actually.
oh, you just did charisma. You didn't do charisma.
Yeah.
save.
All right. So +4 plus. So there's an additional +3. So 8, 9, 10, 11. So he rolled an 11.
I mean, it's still my DC is what he had to beat was 16.
Okay. All right. Yeah. So not even close.
My spell save DC is 16.
Okay. So attack roll a saving throw. They must roll a D4. So I'm gonna put a little. Let's do a little symbol for Bane. We'll use that. And as this kind of shadowy
I'm
energy.
I'm concentrating on that.
Okay. as this shadowy energy kind of starts to surround Artus, you can see him grow a little pale, paler than one who wielded such magical wintry energy would normally be. And just look a little sickly as he kind of starts coughing inside of this self-contained ice storm that is swirling around him, as the ice storm that surrounds him now is beginning to intermingle with this kind of black shadow energy that just almost dirties the snow and ice swirling around him. Anything else?
Yeah, as a bonus action, I'm gonna be like, in a very sing-song voice, be like, "Hey Trey, you got this," and give him bardic inspiration.
Nice.
I love that.
We love Trey.
We love
We
Trey.
do.
We love
Yay.
Trey in this household.
Which bardic inspiration is a D8.
Gotcha.
Is my voice echoing?
It was when Rory was talking.
It's
there was an
echoing a
echo.
little bit. I
Yeah.
can hear my own voice.
I think we had a little bit of echo, but it comes and goes.
Okay, and that's it for my turn.
All right, so as you reset, you hear a like an arrow being loosed.
My baby? Oh. No, what is life, Finn?
Oh my god.
What?
What is that?
What the?
Life Ender?
What?
Oh no, she wields Life Ender?
And a bolt from like this sinister-looking bolt as Dragonbait is resetting, preparing for the next attack. You just see him go as this giant, kind of menacing-looking crossbow bolt just kind of is now sticking out of his back, and he just.
Where did it come from? Where did it come from?
You kind of turn to your southwest, and you see kind of just appearing from the shadows on the far side of this pyramid, and kind of seeming like they had swung themselves over, this menacing-looking pale green half-orc with this reinforced leather armor and this really nasty-looking crossbow that has intricate filigree and carvings kind of all etched around it that is practical. It's like black and silver. And she has these feathers and this kind of natural camouflage that's been applied to her armor. And she just kind of glares over at Artus and Dragonbait. And
Okay.
Dragonbait
I know
takes
that
24, 30... Actually, it's, 24 points of damage.
I
Oh,
know
wait, no.
that like I'm already romancing so many people, but is she hot though?
I'll show you in a second. I just want to double check the wording on Colossus Slayer. I think they might already have to be damaged.
Oh, she's a ranger? We're dead.
Oh my god, for real. At least she looks like she's interested in killing Artus. So...
Yeah, she was interested in.
Gee, I wonder why.
Not
Maybe it's
us.
for the ring we're taking from him.
Hey, Roy, just for like argument's sake, how long does it take to cast Lehman's tiny hut?
Yeah, no, it doesn't. It's only 12.
It says 1 minute.
That's like 10 rounds.
It's only 12 points of damage. But now it is wounded. As it, Dragonbait
Yeah,
just kind of is able to very quickly reset his fighting position and kind of look behind him. And you can see kind of now resetting and reloading the crossbow. This half-orc down here in the corner.
Oh, they're not hot.
Alright, after which Elena is going to charge in.
How did...
I did what? Did I miss something? Did I miss somebody?
No, sorry. Emma is like... Allery's probably looking over like, how the hell did this guy hide from us?
Alright.
That fucking magic
Elena
slinger.
I was like-
Is going to...
Is Allery also concentrating?
Yes,
And then I was like, yeah, you're concentrating on your shadowy dude.
my demon.
So her blade begins to glow with fire, as it has been. And you also notice that that device that she had dropped, the runes, begin to kind of click into place, and as they do, this device kind of hums and whirls, and you can hear it hums and whirs, and you can hear it clicking. And as it clicks into place, these tendrils of energy begin to just slowly creep out from inside of this orb, and this magical energy starts to kind of coalesce and form this very small, what looks to be some sort of portal energy, just swirling in the center of the sort of in the center of the battlefield, right where that circular design is on the ground. That's where she had dropped it, and this kind of purple and these purple and black shadows again swirling and coalescing to form this some kind of a circular portal of some kind is what it looks like.
A portal.
Oh no, back up, I guess.
But she's going to run in, and with the flame tongue sword, she's going to use her bonus action, and it's going to start. You see these runes, these fire runes on the flame tongue weapon begin to light up as well as she runs in and tries to swing, taking a strike. Oh.
Oh.
What
That's
square
a
is she on?
7.
It looks like she's on top of Dragonbait.
Up and on its shoulders. She's hopped up there.
She's flying?
She can fly, can't she?
Who?
Elena.
Elena is on top of Dragonbait, like in the
Yes.
same square.
Yeah, she kind of
Okay.
has pushed her way through and is trying to take a swing at Artus Climber. So she's in the
Oh, okay.
the space between.
She went, hey, fuck you, let me through. Let me in!
You know what?
Let me in!
Let's see. That's an action. And completely just whiffs as she is trying to strike Artus Climber. Just runs in and takes a swing, and he just kind of ducks to the side, and he just, whoa. All right. Hella is going to move forward in the combat chair and just going to roll herself up, and you're going to use the charge attack. The ram. All right. Well, that definitely hits. As you can see her kind of deploy the spikes on the wheels of the combat charge into place, roll forward, striking into Dragonbait. So 27 definitely hits in the midst of the chaos. And that's 9 bludgeoning damage. It's not made with the swift feature, I don't think. Yeah, because she's not technically moving downhill, so... Dragonbait does take... And I'm going to move Elena here just for visual purposes. Still takes 9 points of bludgeoning damage as she slams into him. He's trying to avoid it, and you can see that the blades that she deploys on the bottom of the combat chair just slice into the side of Dragonbait as he kind of jumps back and is trying to avoid it with that two-handed kind of holy weapon that he's holding, trying to jump out of the way, but it still strikes him. It opens up this gash in his leg. As she resets, puts one hand on the crossbow and another at the ready with her Morningstar. That's going to be the end of her turn, I believe. And then we have Trey, so let me just make sure that she doesn't have a multi-attack. She does not yet at least. So, Trey, it is your turn, followed by Artus. He rolled really low on initiative.
Is Dragonbait knocked prone? Is he like
No,
on the floor?
no, because she didn't use it with the Swift feature, so he just kind of gets knocked a little bit off balance.
I'm assuming if I try to move here, he could attack me? Like if I try to move beside Artus?
Yes, yep, because you're technically engaged or in engagement range with Dragonbait.
Alright, well, I'm going to cast Hunter's Mark on Dragonbait.
Okay.
And then take a slash with my axe. 17 hit.
Yeah, 17 does hit.
Okay, so that's That's 6 plus 4, so 10 slashing. Plus 2 from the Hunter's Mark, so 12 damage.
All right. As you swing
That's
the
pretty
axe
much-
down and kind of, he's trying to brace, and you're able to cut him right down the shoulder. As you cut this kind of gash in his left shoulder as he's trying to reset into a fighting position, slashing right down.
Yeah, that's pretty much all I can do.
Okay. All right. If I could have everyone make a perception check for me.
All right, baby, I need you to roll really good today.
Oh. I see nothing. I have a +5 to perception and I saw nothing.
Wow.
All
I rolled a 3.
You rolled a 3?
All right, so you can, you're all very much, okay, 19, 16, so L and...
And 21.
Oh, okay,
Allery
yes.
has 21.
All right. Where is Allery anyway? Oh, all the way down there. So Allery, based on positioning, you're the only one that can really see it. But you see kind of swinging herself up over the side of the pyramid, kind of, and you can hear at this kind of rumbling, this swinging herself up over the pyramid. You can see in her hair, she has an orange hibiscus over her ear, an orange hibiscus, a purple orchid, and a red parrot feather. You can see just with her weapon at the ready, swing over the side of the pyramid from the rear portion of the pyramid, one of the alternate paths that you could take to get up. Your friends.
She definitely also has another flower in her hair as well.
Yes, and then another flower on the other side. And as she jumps up and slams onto the ground, Nim, you're very distracted, but at the last second, you do look over and see the visage of your frost giant friend, Thera Permafrost, as she just slams onto the ground and kind of swing herself up, kind of resetting. That's all of her movement. And she just takes her warhammer and just... Are we fighting?
Are we
I
fighting?
wave. I give a little.
Allery, under his breath, is like, God's damn it. And he looks over and he sees the little spirit, says, don't repeat me.
Yeah, Nim's just like
Get stabbed.
wave.
All right, now I just have to
But
check
like
the
this
wording.
sort of. You know when people are like
spell.
trying to flirt while waving and they're just like,
Yeah.
they're just like they like wiggle their fingers. Seductive wave.
Yeah.
300 feet, okay.
Love her.
Let's see.
Oh my jeez Louise, hello?
Yeah.
Where are you going?
Pardon?
Buddy?
I mean, buddy,
Did
that's
Trey
still
have
within
to-
range of Eldritch Blast.
Okay. Trey did cast Hunter's Mark, right?
I cast it on Dragon's Bait. It's fine. Allery, Trey, and Elena have Hunter's Mark, and I can drag him back 10 feet every time I do it.
Not Hunter's Mark, but Eldritch Blast.
I'll just blast, sorry. Brain is stupid.
So, Artus
I can cast
says,
Shatter, I guess.
well, that's about enough for this. And grabs Dragonbait by the arm and just says, we'll be taking our leave now. And you can see that the ice just begins to swirl around both. What?
No.
Okay, sorry. The ice begins to swirl around Artus Climber and Dragonbait as they and this ice storm kicks up into a frenzy. And as it does, you all are kind of blinded by this flash of ice and the sort of ice and sleet as Artus and Dragonbait disappear.
Man.
Uh,
Can I
any-
try to take an opportunity attack?
Does that mean people are following us?
Yeah. Is there like no chance to get opportunity attacks as they run?
It is
Yeah.
Dimension Door.
Fuck.
Um,
Is there any way I could use Hunter's Mark to find it?
Not with Dimension Door.
Ah, damn it.
I mean, did they literally appear right where you put them?
But I would like for Trey, go ahead and roll a D100 for me.
Oh,
Oh, not again, 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 not again. No, wait, no, wait, no.
wow.
far.
Nope.
That's
What
I
the
a
rolled 100.
40
It wasn't a D100. Oh my
You
Jesus,
rolled a
I will
100.
piss me.
All right,
She rolled a
Allery, go ahead and roll a
100.
D100 for
I
me.
cannot believe it.
Okay.
I'm gonna shit bricks. I scared myself when I rolled another 100.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
All right, so for anyone, oh my god, for anyone that doesn't know, I use a custom homebrew system for divine intervention. So wow,
Wait.
okay.
This is divine intervention?
Does that mean a really scary fish lady just appeared?
What did
So
that exact happen
as-
to appear?
As you can see Trey furiously trying to whisper and call for aid from his deity, from the Archlich, the Demi-Lich Queen that he had met on Vecna's Flying Fortress, Vecna himself, or to the Shadow, just calling out to all of his deities, kind of furiously trying to figure out what's happening in that moment where you are trying to, as they kind of disappear, and the energy of the pyramid kind of surges for a minute, and Allery, from Allery's back, very similar wings to what you saw on the shadow monster that she summoned, just spread and form behind Allery as you watch as he kind of gazes down and kind of tracks through the sky, and he's looking down the steps of the pyramid, and you can see these wings coming out from behind his back, these spiked wings of shadow, and you can hear these whispers, and as before you can react or figure out exactly what's happening, these shadowy tendrils just shoot out from behind Allery's back at breakneck speed and reach down into the twisting nether, and you can see this kind of flash of white kind of magical ice energy just flash and crack as being sucked back through the dimension door and into the center of the pyramid, as these tendrils just yank on Artus Climber and Dragonbait. You can see the form of both of them just get sucked and thrown back to the top of the pyramid, and they land prone on the ground as these tentacles just slam them into the ground, and they both take
oh no.
They both take 9 points of bludgeoning damage as they fall back down onto the ground and are kind of slammed into the stonework at the top of the pyramid by these. There's this mass of 10 or 20 writhing, shadowy tendrils that yank them both back through the dimension door and slam them onto the center of the pyramid with a thud, like a crash. They both take 9 points of bludgeoning damage.
Damn.
Nice.
Oh,
That's it though. You get no more of those for another week. For our homebrew rules.
Is that Allery only, or do I also not get one?
If it's successful, you have to wait a week. Really depends on the
okay.
situation. Alright.
Okay. I can raise the dead again in 3 days.
Alright, top of the turn order. That's your mysterious half-orc friend who just kind of looks very surprised. But now she gets to use Colossus Slayer. But no sneak attack because it's not engaged with the Chwingas. And I think she has 2 attacks now because that was a held action. And crossbow expert, I believe. Yeah. Yep, crossbow expert. Savage attacks. Ooh, right. Extra attack. Twice. Well, volley. Oh, actually, I forgot to use Assassinate the first time. So that would be a critical, so that would be actually 24 damage. So Dragonbait, that first crossbow bolt was a critical. So that was another 12 damage that he took because of Assassinate. Ooh, but the... And then the sneak attack. Did she roll a sneak? No, she didn't for some reason. So also sneak attack from that first crossbow bolt. Alright, so another...
Artus didn't even try and...
So that is also doubled because of Assassinate. So that is 14. Sneak attack on Dragonbait. So yeah, so when I described Dragonbait getting struck by this crossbow bolt that kind of just sucked the life out of him a little. Oh, and it's also okay, yeah. So she rolls an extra 2d6 because of the magic weapon. Another 9 points of damage. Okay, that was all from the first attack. It was supposed to be a lot more than 12. I was like, I know I specifically had designed this so it would be a lot more.
NPCs do more damage than the whole party.
I think it's more or less that our TM is rolling insanely high numbers.
Alright, so none of those. Okay, so this time, though, she doesn't have sneak attack. She does not have Assassinate. She does have Colossus Slayer, but no sneak attack. So both of those will hit. And I gotta see if Colossus Slayer is once per turn or if it's just on every attack. That's it. Once per turn, okay. So it's the 5. It's immune to poison. No sneak attack, so it's not as much damage as you would think. 22, 27. So from 2 attacks from a high level NPC, it's 27 damage, so that's not that bad. But you can just see her launch 2 crossbow bolts just back to back as she loads a second one with very skilled ease. Allery, you're up.
Allery blinks, looks down at the 2 of them, says, "Welcome back." 5, 10, 15, 20.
Oh yeah, you see the Chwingas are kind of like, ah! And they all just kind of disappear into the ether.
Okay, good.
Later.
Good. That does make a little bit of a difference on what I might do, because I didn't want to hit them. Are we doing it? So I can either do that or...
I really want to
Actually,
try
this is gonna be best.
either.
So we're gonna do 2 Eldritch Blasts, both aimed at Arctis.
Okay. All right. So your free hand starts to glow with this kind of surge of that purple shadow energy that you're all so familiar with, as you just kind of very confidently throw out your hand, and these bolts of purple energy come flying towards Arctis, these fireballs of shadowy purple energy.
Before I go any further, Essie, he's prone. Would that give me disadvantage on these rolls for these ranged spell attacks?
Ooh, yes.
Okay, so that will be for my first
Okay,
one.
so we'll say 22.
Ooh, and
Thank
then
you.
a 10 on the next one.
Okay. So yeah, so one of the blasts kind of arcs over a little bit to the right and impacts on the ground with an explosion as some of the stone just kind of flies up in the air. But the first one does find its mark, and as Artus is trying to get back up to readjust himself, this shadow flame hits him in the chest and ignites him. So 13 force damage.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Okay, and then it's Shadow Baby's turn. That's all Allery is gonna do.
Okay, Dune, you're up.
It's actually the Shadow Demon.
Oh, sorry. Yes, Shadow Demon. Or the Shadow Spawn, I think, technically.
Uh-huh.
All right.
25, 30...
Shadow Boy!
30. So he can get here, but he does move past Arctis. So I don't know if he has any weapon in hand to do a
Yes.
reaction attack.
Which he's going to take.
Actually, I'm sorry, Essie. I'm just gonna stop here. I was trying to get 30 feet away from everyone, but it's too small space.
Okay, so the Shadow Demon just kind of...
Is going to use his attack, which is a 1d20 plus 7. And... Oof, just a 9. Oh, but he has advantage because he's prone.
Yes, so advantage on this attack. So
Oof.
first one just kind of goes wide, and the second one, is this still cold damage?
Yes.
All right, as he
But
strikes...
he's not attacking the wizard, he's attacking the lizard.
Oh, the lizard, okay, so 26 does
Yeah.
hit. Okay. Not the wizard, the lizard. I like that.
Not the wizard, the lizard.
I like that. Okay.
Cricket. 1d 12 plus 6.
Poor Elena, getting all hyped up for this whole thing and running in there and just completely whiffing, like stumbling over her own 2 feet and swinging with the flame weapon. And Arctis just stepped to the side and dimension doored to the bottom of the pyramid. Granted, he got sucked back, but poor Elena.
Yeah. 17 damage. I almost rolled max.
Ooh, all right.
Wow.
All right, as the Shadow Demon kind of changes direction and hovers over Dragonbait, takes both of their claws, which now... How do you want to do this? Well, as far as Dragonbait's concerned.
I would like to imagine you see the moment that Dragonbait gets impaled by all these icicles, and then the tentacles just envelop, and he comes away and he's just a corpse.
Okay.
Very, very eldritch horror.
Very 90s horror movie.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Advantage on saving throws.
Now, Trey, for your hunter's mark, is it a reaction you move it when the creature dies, or a bonus action?
I can double check.
All right. So as this shadowy entity just kind of hovers over Dragonbait, you watch as they take both of their kind of clawed fingers, these clawed nails, and just stick both of them into Dragonbait's chest, and you can hear these whispers as the life essence seems to be being siphoned from Dragonbait, and these shadowy tendrils of cold necrotic of cold shadow energy just seep into Dragonbait, and there's this exchange as the cold enters and the life leaves. As Dragonbait just in shock almost at this horrific shadow demon just lurking over him and just kind of siphoning his life energy out.
And as after he's dead, this demon's gonna turn to Arctis and just give a really awful grin, just like.
You shouldn't have gone on that now. Okay, and that's it for the shadow demon, right?
Yeah.
Okay, alright, so Dune, you're now up officially.
Tis me!
Tis you.
How do you go about saying this is your...
That's what you're doing, it's your bonus action.
I'm gonna use my bonus action. I'm gonna do Insightful Fighting.
So click on it.
Okay.
It has a thing with the little chat bubble. Hit that so that Essie can read it.
Thank you. Alright, because actually I did not know what that did. Alright, sure, okay.
So then you're going to roll a
Contested
check.
with target's charisma check. Ooh,
So you can
okay,
either roll it.
nice.
So,
Insight. Not bad. Oh. It's just a charisma check, not a charisma save.
Okay, so that would be minus 3, so 15, so fail. Okay.
You just barely did it, so now
Yeah.
you get advantage on your attacks.
Alright, failed by 1.
Failed by 1.
Failed by 1.
And take the higher number.
That's still Bane.
Oh, actually, are you going to move and attack, or are you going to attack it with your bow? Because if you attack it with your bow, it's at disadvantage, because it's a ranged weapon on a prone creature.
Mega-minded minion.
Am I wrong?
Yeah, you should use your sword. Go towards them and attack
can
with
I
your
attack from here?
sword. You have to be right up on him. Unless you want to use your bow, but then you just roll the die once.
Do this.
Okay. So now you get to roll twice.
Okay.
Did you roll? Okay, it's an 18. Okay, roll again. And a 7, so you want the 18.
18 plus
7.
7. 18 plus 7. I can't do math.
25.
Okay, and
25.
that's a hit, right?
Yes.
With your sword?
Yes.
Okay, so you
My
run
sword.
over as Arctis is still trying to recover and get back up. You run over and kind of try to stab him back down into the ground with your sword, kind of sticking him in the shoulder. Go ahead and roll damage.
So that's 1 plus 4. So you have 5 right now, and then you roll your sneak attack, which is 3d6. So you roll 3 of the cubes. You can roll 3 at once or 1 to 3 times. That's 9, 11, so 16.
16 damage,
Oh wow. Okay, nice.
including my sneak attack.
All right, and so that's 16 with everything.
Yes.
All right, awesome. So you just kind of shove your blade into his shoulder, like, and he kind of has this kind of look of fear and terror in his eyes now as you kind of thrust him back down into the ground, being surrounded on all sides by enemies. Do you have a second attack?
Can I move back when I'm done, or am I just stuck there?
You
you can
can,
move-
but you would. He has not yet used his reaction. You would risk an attack of opportunity, but he's prone, so he would have disadvantage on it.
That's fine.
Actually, since he has disadvantage on that attack, you might do it.
Yeah, because I feel like someone's gonna.
So you move 10, so you can move 20 away.
5.
15.
I'll just. Should I stay here or go back?
That's fine.
I'll go back.
Okay,
I'll go there.
So
And
it's
I'm-
going to take an opportunity attack on you.
Is
Which
he
is only 12.
So that's
So-
12. So he just swings with this kind of nasty-looking dagger that has the engraved runes on it. Just tries to swing as he kind of tries to readjust, kind of clutching his shoulder, and you're able to just kind of jump up and over the blade with your tabaxi skills.
Did you? Are you using the Bane stuff still with his stuff?
Ooh, no, but thank you for
D4?
reminding me. Yeah, so that would be but he missed anyway. So I
Yeah.
think he's only had one turn, and he was kind of
Fucked.
Yeah.
Pussy boy.
yeah. But so
Little pussy boy.
yeah, so you're so
I was
the
just
way that the
making sure.
homebrew the way that the homebrew works as far as that is that you can't
Or you just use the D4?
you can't Allery, you can't use that feature again for another week, or I won't use that feature for another week of in-game time, which is like a 10-day.
That's
So-
fine.
Okay. All right. And after you kind of jump over the dagger, that's the end of your turn, right?
It's the end of your turn?
Okay,
Yes,
all
that
right.
is the end of my turn. Sorry.
Reese, you're up.
Okay. I can move over this way.
Yeah, you got plenty of room there.
Yeah, I've got like all kinds of space.
I feel so bad for
Hello.
Elena. She just
Where is Elena?
she's
up
she's
here.
recoiling in the horror of rolling a 7 when she was the one to initiate the attack and totally whiffing.
Me too.
bad.
Elena.
She had a branding smite ready. I was shook as the DM. That's why I looked at her. That's why I looked at her character sheet for so long, because I was like, "There's got to be something she can do." But like, no, she used her bonus action to cast branding smite on her weapon, charged in there with the sword on fire, and just tripped over her own 2 feet.
I mean,
I
you
feel
know what, Elena,
secondhand
it's
shame for my
relatable.
NPC.
Okay, I'm going to attack Artus over here. Alright, so let me roll. So, does a natural 20 hit?
Oh my
Yes, the natural
God.
20 hits.
Okay.
No, did you roll a disadvantage because he's prone? Oh no, no, sorry, you were not using a ranged weapon. You're good to go. You're at advantage. So yes, natural 20 does hit.
I think the wig's coming off, y'all.
All right.
Yeah. the
So
one-
roll your damage, right? Add your modifier and your proficiency bonus, and then roll
Okay.
roll the damage dice again.
Oh, listen here.
Alright.
It's not in the wig. Where'd it go?
So roll 2 of the damage dice, and then add your proficiency bonus and your modifier.
Okay. So I got a 6 on D10.
Okay.
So that's plus 5, I believe.
So you roll the 6 and a 5.
No, my modifier is 5.
Okay.
And
So-
then,
So you roll the
rolled
weapon
an-
damage dice again.
okay. Yeah, I rolled a 6 and an 8.
Okay.
then
So
my
14
modifier's a
plus
5.
5. All right, so 19 damage total. And then roll a d4
Yeah.
for the bleed damage.
It's gonna be 4 damage.
Nice. So 23 damage total.
Yeah,
All right, you want to try and keep him locked down on the ground?
absolutely.
All right. And that was your first attack, right?
Yes, it was.
All right. So strength check, and
Yeah.
using the bane -4. So yeah. So you swing this halberd down into him, and you actually able, because he's prone, you're able to actually hook that kind of hooked end into him and lock in and pull. As he is now technically grappled by you, so you can let it go and swing again, or you can give advantage to the next person.
I'll keep him grappled, I think.
Okay. All right.
So,
So that's all you want to do?
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's take a damage.
All right.
He's got buck cock.
That's 1 failure. All right, Nim, you're up.
Sorry, I'm.
Also, the temperature is
He's grappled.
he's grappled, so
Yeah.
but he is prone, so melee attacks have. Oh, actually,
Disadvantage.
I will say melee attacks have advantage. So yeah, prone is different than grapple because he still has to contest. So yeah, that's fine. So anyone that attacks with a melee weapon has advantage. Well, actually, technically melee or ranged, because Reese, you can say if you want to like stand him up a little bit, put him on his knees
Oh, yeah,
with the
I can
halberd.
do that
Yeah, can you do that?
to make it so that
You do that?
ranged attack
Yeah,
can
just
hit,
just
yeah.
totally abusing this guy. So yeah, you can
Oh,
kind of
oh,
just like you can kind of yank him up a little bit to give both ranged and melee attacks advantage, as your crocodile halberd is kind of hooked into his flesh now.
Is not a team player.
You pulled him up right for me.
Yeah. I'm
You
like, hey,
like-
Niv, you got a
Nim.
shot?
Okay, so I have advantage.
Yes.
Then I'm gonna shoot with crossbow here. Yeah.
Alright.
No.
So still just in the moment trying to just kind of take everything in, you just and you take a second to try to aim, and in the intensity of the moment, noticing your frost giant friend to the right, you just kind of look over, and as you do, your crossbow releases early and it just goes wide. Distracted.
I was trying to impress her, and I just...
Yeah.
Didn't work out.
Nope. Okay. You know what? I'm going to blow a kiss to Thera and give her bardic inspiration.
Okay. She just kind of and seems very amused, if not entertained by your gesture, and just kind of blushes a little bit. All right, so Thera has bardic inspiration, and is at the end of your turn.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Go on, Elena.
Come
All
on,
right.
Elena. Got advantage doing death saves. Like,
Look, if he's doing death saves, I literally have a demon from the shadow dimension stood right above him. He won't be making death saves for very long.
yeah.
So advantage.
Wow,
Nope.
Elena!
Yeah, so she.
Going on.
But she
Poor
does have
Elena.
a. No, she doesn't
Oh,
have a
man,
second
Elena.
attack. But she does have a bonus action, so. Yeah, so she's gonna use her channel divinity to just kind of, as she kind of whiffs the first time, as he's kind of flailing wildly on the blade, and as he's trying to like pull the blade out and trying to unhook he's kind of grabbed the hilt of the crocodile halberd, and he's trying to twist off, and Elena's going to use her channel divinity, which is only a one-time thing. And as she misses the first time with the flame tongue weapon, as Artus Climber just kind of thrust to the side with the spear still jabbed in his chest, kind of lunges forward as she misses. You can see her eyes just kind of glow with this black fire, and you hear the distant caw of a raven as she adjusts, using her channel divinity for guided strike, which is going to give her a +10. And I just want to double check one more time to make sure that she doesn't have to, like, that should just be a bonus action, otherwise it wouldn't make any sense, so I'll link it for everyone.
Oh,
Okay, yeah, plus 10
converge.
bonus. I mean, I'm the DM, so yeah, I can say. Alright, guided strike. Yeah, so she just kind of readjusts and slices back, so that's going to add a 10, but that's her one-time use of channel divinity, but her eyes kind of glow black as she does this, and that's when you hear like the distant caw of a raven that kind of echoes on the wind. That's a 21, which does hit. And then that will be, yeah. So as she kind of slices up and in with this fire damage that kind of cuts through the ice, she just, and she kind of cuts and cauterizes this wound up and under his arm and around to the back. And this, very similar to what happened with Reese, the blood spray just and then cauterizes as this fire kind of almost engulfs and overtakes the ice, and he starts screaming in pain as the fire engulfs him. And as he kind of falls limp and unconscious, she's going to use her free object interact to grab his hand and try to start forcing the ring off, and she's going to make a strength check to try and do so, because it's in the middle of combat.
Can she have an advantage because I have him like grappled basically?
Yeah, because you said it. If you want to, like, if you're like facilitating this,
Yeah.
you can kind of position him in a way where it might make it easier. So,
Essie, was there not a big purple portal glowing right here in the middle of
still
this
there.
thing?
Yep. I'll
Oh,
draw a little
no.
circle.
What is up with that? Also, did I just get splattered with blood again?
Again?
Yeah.
Prestidigitation.
She's almost kind of got it off. So with her 11, she just kind of, it's just about to come free, and she is right about to pull it off. It'll come free on her next turn. Hela's just going to run in and try to shave some death saves off. Kick them while they're down.
Oh, hell yeah. This is not the morally good.
Yeah, so
It's dead.
right, so
Yeah.
so you can
Oh,
see his eyes fluttering, and as his eyes are fluttering, as Reese, you kind of just like shove his face into the ground with your halberd, and just kind of you see Hela with the two kind of jagged spiked blades that she deploys when she wants to use the ram strike. She just thrusts forward in the combat chair, and one of these spikes goes into his mouth and out the side of his head, and the other one goes into his chest. And you just hear a as he just kind of burns, as the body burns with the fire that had ignited with Elena's guided strike, and the
Aw,
blood kind of
honey.
like. So that is
That's
it,
good for you.
unfortunately,
Man,
for our
if I
friend
could
Artus
just-
Climber.
If I could just not keep getting splattered with blood, that would be
It's
great.
the second one is more like from your below your knees down to your feet. It just kind of splattered on your boots.
Is Reese saying this out loud?
Yes, absolutely.
Trey's just gonna be like, oh, for fuck's sake, and just cause prestidigitation to clean her. Stop whining like a child.
All right, so
I'm whining
Trey,
like a child.
Dragonbait still has saving throws, and it's your turn.
Oh, he's still alive? Oh, okay. I still have Hunter's Mark on
Yeah, I
him.
was shaving off death saves.
Is it an advantage?
He's alive but unconscious.
I thought we killed him.
He is unconscious.
And you already failed one death saving throw, so you have advantage on the attack.
Nat 20 with the advantage.
Yeah, so that's okay.
Yeah,
So how do you
Always a natural 20.
how do you officially end Dragonbait?
He's laying on the floor. I just want to full on decapitate him.
All right, yeah. So you just kind of adjust your axe and swing it down, and with a splat, you decapitate
Can
the lizard known as
I
Dragonbait.
aim the slice to try get blood on Reese?
You know, I don't think this counts as a kill for your kill count, my friend.
Yes, it does.
It does not
It counts
count
as a
because
kill. I got
I'm
the kill.
actively holding this man.
I
No,
just
but it was.
need to know if you're
Trace
doing
will
anything
kill.
else with your turn after you.
So that was my action.
Okay.
I want to try and if I'm able to kind of almost shield Elena trying to get the ring out, or can I try and get the ring out as well?
Yeah, you can totally do that.
Yeah, I'm gonna try and get the ring off. Is that a strength check?
So I'll say that if you wanna use, yeah, if you wanna just kind of help it slide off, go ahead and make a strength check. It's just a straight strength roll.
14.
Yeah, okay, so 14, hers was 11, so yeah, you're able to just kind of just pry it free. It was kind of stuck on there pretty good, and as you do, that kind of magical frost energy that was surrounding Artus Climber, that kind of miniature whirlwind of ice and snow kind of dies down and kind of gets sucked back into the ring, as you can see now that the portal that was kind of deployed by Elena, and I'll draw a little shape here so you can see. We'll do a little free.
Guys, I have
Yeah,
the magic ring. I have the magic ring.
it was here, and it's still kind of like,
Did
and
that
it starts to
count as
spark at this time. Did that
Oh.
count as a what?
did that count as a bonus action, or was that an object interact?
That's a free object interact.
Okay. With Hunter's Mark, can people tell when I move in onto them?
We did
I
it.
don't think so. I think it's just something that you know.
Okay. Just in case, I want to Hunter's Mark the Ranger if they
Sure.
aren't aware of it.
Okay.
Just in case.
Sure. You can do that. That's fine.
And I'm just gonna clutch the ring and make it seem like I don't have it. I do not have the ring. No, of course not. No.
All right, make a sleight of hand
Sleight of
check.
hand. But
Oh,
Well, actually,
shit.
Elena had her hands on it, so it's in Elena's hands now. So disregard
Hey.
that. Yeah. So the energy just kind of coalesces and starts to swirl back into the ring, and the ring starts to shake, and the very atmosphere around you starts to rumble, it's kind of like the just the energy around you is quaking and trembling. And as you kind of reel from this energy, Thera Permafrost just kind of
fuck's sake. Sorry.
Just kind of starts trotting her way over.
Does she grow?
With her. That's the appropriate size of the frost giant. That was my bad. I had her scale size wrong before.
I should have moved Hunter's Mark to her instead. No.
And as she kind of stops with her hammer, she goes, "At last, you did my job for me," and kind of puts the hammer down. The Ring of Winter is ours at last. And I'll take that now.
Totally.
Nim.
So I'm going to temporarily...
Still on initiative?
I'm going to remove the initiative for now.
I'm gonna do the thing! I'm gonna try and use romantic ties to convince her that we need the ring.
Alright. Still a little tense on the top of the pyramid, as everyone is reeling from combat and still on edge, and Elena still has the flame weapon deployed, like still burning.
SC?
Yes.
I would like Allery to do an insight check, and if he thinks that Our Lady is going to try, our giantess is going to attack, he's going to cast Charm Person on her.
Okay, go ahead and make an insight check.
Can we hold any actions?
Sure. What do you want to hold specifically?
I want to hold Eldritch Blast if she gets hostile.
Okay.
No, you can't attack her if I do Charm Person.
That's true.
Well, if it fails, well, fine.
You can only have one contingency.
Fair. Never mind.
Do a thing here!
You can say if she does become, if she remains hostile.
Yeah.
That's true.
I'll
Because
allow that. Yeah.
my trigger is if she becomes hostile. So yours could be if she remains hostile.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Fair enough. All right. So she holds out the ring expectantly. Oh, she holds out her hand expectantly towards Elena, and at this, the portal grows slightly larger. And she kind of looks back over at the portal, and if I could have everyone make a perception check.
Okay.
Ah, fuck.
Oh, Allery's not.
I got a 12.
Allery
Okay.
is watching the giantess. Does not care about portal.
Okay.
Also, Reese, I'm starting the kill counter.
I know. I'm mad about it.
All right.
I
So
should
that's
have
a...
Allery, I don't think you're concentrating anymore.
Oh, you're right. You're right. No, my guy's still here. He can stay for
Oh wait,
an
you're
hour.
okay. Never mind. I forgot.
He's
I
still
forgot
here.
why you were concentrating.
Okay, so your shadow entity remains if you want to maintain your concentration on it. It is
Might as well.
concentration, right?
Concentration for up to an hour.
Okay, so your shadowy entity remains in this plane. Okay, so Nim 23, Emily 22, L. All right, so Emily, Nim, Dune, Nim, Reese. Who didn't roll? Did everyone roll?
I rolled a 12.
Okay.
Everyone rolled.
Yeah.
That's all of us. That's
Oh,
fine.
okay. Oh, sorry. It was right below the insight, so it threw me off.
Oh,
6.
no, sorry.
Okay, no, that's okay. I see it. So, this is Neverwinter. On the other side of the portal.
Neverwinter being
The city.
The city of Neverwinter. That the Zhentarim now control. The city that is the capital of the Savage North, half of which is coated in ice. And you can see on the other side of the portal Neverkeep, which there are kind of dark clouds above Neverwinter that you can see through the portal. And from Neverkeep in the distance, it's kind of like a blurred It's kind of like a blurred visage of Neverkeep. Again, under the control of the Zhentarim after the conquest of the Monday Group. Thank you, Monday Group. and you can see a figure approaching from the castle. Just in it's a little difficult to make out. You can just see because it's kind of like shimmering. It's like looking at the city of Neverwinter through water, if it was underwater. But you can see something kind of approaching the other side of the portal. This large mass that's getting closer and closer.
I was gonna say that I was gonna kick the lizard man's head through the portal, but now I don't think that's a good idea.
You can totally do that if you want.
I want to kick the man's head through the portal.
Alright, so you kick Dragonbait's severed head through the portal into Neverwinter, and it falls on some poor commoner. some
Wait,
poor commoner in Neverwinter is just like, oh my god! As the severed head just kind of falls out of a portal in the sky.
Artus's head at Trey.
Arctus's head is still intact. But as this is happening, what's everyone doing? Because Thera is just holding out her hand for the ring, expectantly, and she's kind of starts to cock her head a little bit at the confusion as Elena just turns to square up with her. She looks at the portal and is like, "What is that? What is going on here?"
I
sneak the ring and jump through the portal.
Don't jump through the portal.
Why?
That's dumb.
It's
You're
into
gonna get
Neverwinter. I don't think you'd be able to come back.
It's Neverwinter, baby. You'd be freezing.
Yeah, you'd be out of the campaign.
You could do it.
I really-
no one have doom.
Well,
I've
wait,
never
I think we could have someone teleport you back, but it would be like you could probably get a teleport back if you wanted. We could make it work.
I don't know how I want to proceed, but I need to convince Thera. Like, me as a player doesn't know how to do it.
Figure something out. Say something.
I want to just be like, hey, so
She kind of looks back and forth between Elena and Nim expectantly and like,
Oh, I have an idea, but I don't know if it would work. But
what's the
Emily,
idea?
go. Emily, go.
Doesn't she believe that the Raven person is the same thing as her deity thing? Could we convince her or something that deity needs this for this?
potentially.
That
You
would
have
be
to put it into
deception.
words. That would be deception. But
I don't know
I think
how to
That would be
Can
deception.
Can I try
I
that?
have a plus 11 in deception.
You don't know what to say, so
We, the players, are just trying to help the other player with a
Yeah.
good argument potential.
Yeah.
None of our
I would-
characters are interacting. This is just Nim.
What if we try
How
and
did
trick
you-
her through the portal? We can try trick her
No.
through the portal.
portal gets
She's
a
a
little bit
frost
larger.
giantess in the middle of a jungle. She's gonna miss the cold.
I kind of want to try to explain to her and persuade her of what Emma had said to maybe try and convince her to make a deal with the Zhentarim. Or the whatever. The Zent.
This one?
No, what?
What?
I'm very confused.
Me too.
Hey, lady.
Oh, like deal? Did you say deal with or make a deal with?
Make a deal. Rory, you
Make a
froze.
deal with. Rory looks like they've frozen.
Oh, okay.
I was gonna say we can try, cause she was talking about how we could try and reunite the little people with the giants. So be like, now what's the point of just handing it to you and can make it a grand gesture of the little people?
Rory,
it
unfortunately, is frozen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think maybe their computer crashed or something.
They're typing.
Oh.
Hold on, give them a second. They're typing.
Okay.
I want to do Emma's idea.
All right,
Convince her to... Essentially convince her to try to deal with the Zhentarim herself. So we're say like, hey, we have to give this back to the Zhentarim, but you can go and try to talk with them and try to get it back. Work on your diplomacy. You're going to become a queen, so you need to be able to like...
Yeah, because we have to give it to our bosses or else our asses are gonna get fried.
Okay.
Yeah, like,
Elena is with all of your passives, you can see Elena is she's sweating a little bit, and she's very like nervously looking back at the portal.
Can I cast
You're gonna jump through the
prestidigitation to
portal?
refresh her?
I'm going
you
to
want.
go into her head real quick as Allery and say, let Nim try to do her thing. If not, we're prepared to defend you.
She can answer back, right?
Yes.
Okay. So she says, you eventually, very quickly hear a response. And that says, if you don't figure something out soon, she's going to die. And it won't be by my hand.
We know.
By whose?
The lady who's about to come out, whom I'm thinking is, I don't remember her name, but the Dragon Rider lady.
Hollythorn. From my knowledge of magic, what would happen if I poke my head through? Would I be, like, thrown through it, or would just my head go through it?
You would just kind of, your head would go, you would be able to see on the other side.
I want to see on the other side.
Okay. Anyone else doing anything?
Allery is still
Move
watching.
your token.
Alright.
Alright, what if I push Trey into the portal now?
No, bitch. This is why I get blood on you.
So I thought I heard someone else say they wanted to jump in the portal. Was that Dune again?
That was nonsense.
Okay. All right.
That was garbage. That was nothing.
I'm just gonna move the shadow. Okay, so Trey, as you take a second to stick your head through, I want to go back to Nim here in a second. And Nim is, oh no, the cameras. All right, I'm going to turn the cameras off temporarily. So we're going to go to audio only, just for a second, because all the cameras are a little messed. Anyone know what happened to Rory?
Rory is typing. Discord said no, I need to restart iPad.
Oh, okay. All right. So
I think if we do you want to maybe do like a quick 5 or something?
Yeah, okay, that's a good idea. So let's take a 10-minute break for our technical issues, which we are plagued with tonight. And we'll be back in 10 minutes. So everyone, take this time. It's a very tense situation, but we'll come back in 10 minutes. We'll try again. So it's 11:34. So 11:44, we'll be back. I'm going to...
This is why we don't make friends of NPCs.
Yeah. All right.
Because now you can't just kill them outright.
I mean, we still could. It's just called a betrayal.
I'm fine with that.
Look, it's not going to be us who kills her.
Right,
yeah,
so official 10-minute break. We're going to go to break stream
But
here.
like, if
All right, and I'm going to run an ad break, and we'll be back at 11:35 for anyone on the Twitch stream. So thank you for hanging out with us. So we'll be back in 10 minutes.
We don't need to kill her, but if we did, it would look cool as shit. You know? Both are correct.
That's what I was talking about. I don't know who you're all talking about.
Thank you.
Hollywood.
Flattery will get you everywhere.
Especially in
for
her.
Leather jacket, baby.
I'm Polly and Pan, so it's safe to assume that I have a crush on everyone as like a default.
I did not need the call out. I didn't need that call out. Youch.
Just as a default, I'm probably interested. Pan problems.
I'm so glad that you've said this because that is a very big problem.
Why did my TV just unmute?
It's constantly being attracted to people. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, that's a big issue with Pan, and it's one of those things where like just growing up, it would be like oh, you know, like before people were really talking about pansexuality, the thing where like, oh, you know, Aaron's attracted to everyone, you know, here we go again, and it was just like, then it's like, no, I'm Pan, you know, it's the attraction is. When you ask me what's my type, the answer is yes.
I sent a picture of Polly out to the thing if you want to see the hot lady. I found the picture that Aaron was using for her.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
You guys get ready to see Emily blush.
What?
All right.
What?
So now that we have returned, Nim,
Yeah.
what are you doing?
I'm gonna talk to Vera.
The portal now is starting to spark with electrical energy. Just
I'm gonna say, do you remember, do you remember back when we met in the forest?
Who is this?
I definitely felt comfortable with you in the forest that night, because you gave off this air that at first, meeting new people, I'm always terrified. I don't know if I can trust people. It's a scary world. But you, I felt comfortable, and that's why I very easily stepped out. And why I just thought flower that was so beautiful belongs with someone who's just as beautiful as you are, and it just warmed my heart for your reaction because I knew I had put my trust in a good place. The problem here lies that people we're working for are also after this ring, and I fear for my life if they don't get it. I don't know what's gonna happen to me or my friends, my companions over here. I don't know what could happen with all of us. And I don't want to cause discourse with you either in this moment because of that trust that we built. But I cannot, in good faith, figure this out right now because they really do want it, and that portal is there's probably something about to happen here, and I just don't want you to get hurt if you're going to be fighting for the ring, and I cannot imagine that happening. I understand. You're an amazing fighter. I've witnessed it. Your passion. But I'm just afraid how many people are about to come through this portal for this ring. And I don't know if they're the people that we're working for or someone else. And I don't want you to get hurt fighting over this ring. And I understand the position that this is putting you in. and I don't want to have to break these ties with you to fight over this stupid ring.
You can see her features start to soften just a little bit. She had this
And
kind of
the flower.
menacing expression. She was kind of inferring what was being said, but at that she kind of just goes from she kind of just narrows her eyes and furrows her brow, and her expressions soften almost visibly, but very so slightly.
I use minor illusion to create the same
Yeah.
flower in front of her,
So you
kind of floating.
you
And
both
at the same time, as soon as Nim sees the flower, Nim's going to hold out their hands and have the same looking flower appear in their hands in front of her.
all right.
You know, looking up.
Yes. Presenting her with the same flower that you had when you first met, having Trey assist you, and seeing her features soften, she looks at the portal that is now sparking with this white electric discharge. And you can see that massive figure on the other side approaching closer and closer as you see Trey's kind of just Trey from the neck down with his head through the portal, trying to see through as to what's happening on the other end. She looks at the flower and just holds up her hands and just brushes her large giantess fingers through the illusion and just plays with it. Go ahead and make your persuasion check. Add advantage. Use your DM inspiration. And with both of the flowers here, she kind of looks over at the figure of Trey, who I think would probably have had to stick his head back through the portal.
Yeah.
So you saw something approaching, but then you realized that you should probably focus on this. So you couldn't really take stock of what was happening through the portal. Your eyes hadn't adjusted yet. So Trey looking over at Thera. Thera looks over at Trey, smiles at Trey as she looks at the flower that you had helped create, and then back at the flower that Nim had presented. So that's a 20. So that's a dirty 20. Go ahead and add your... Ooh, nice. Okay. 28. Go ahead and give yourself your DM inspiration. Give it back to yourself for that speech. So you have it moving forward. She just kind of plays with the flower on your roll of 28 and kind of gives you a look of knowing frustration and like that you owe me one kind of look. You know that look that's like... And as this happens, Trey, go ahead and make a dexterity saving throw for me.
Son of a... Okay.
Oh, you're standing right at the portal.
You're standing at the portal, buddy. What you doing?
Come on, what are you doing?
Guess what? Natural 1.
Oof.
With a +1.
Oh, honey.
You all hear kind of like a muffled roar that just
I
gets
should've kept my
louder
head.
and louder,
The dragon.
and bursting through the portal, knocking Trey onto the ground. Trey, you take
Son of a...
13 points of bludgeoning damage,
You
Can I
deserve
just-
it.
and you
Can I
fall
just build
prone.
that back up? Can I just use my lay on hands to get that back up?
You can in a minute, but
Okay.
crashing through the portal with a screech and a roar that kind of makes the very pyramid itself start to tremble and shake. You see a large adult white dragon with 2 riders.
Oh, good boy.
2,
3 riders
3.
Dragon riders.
bursting through the portal. The dragon lands atop the temple with a as his tail just, and Thera has to duck, and it's telegraphed and it's not trying to hit Thera, but she has to duck as the tail just, and there is a rider atop it, and leaping down, taking positions on the top of the pyramid, is a green dragonborn. and a 6'9" 6'9" barbarian-looking woman, not a Goliath, but she's this really intimidating, just tall woman with this nasty-looking warhammer and this kind of dapper black suit. Just kind of, it's basically just a suit jacket and like a leather harness, but she's got like the suit jacket over her leathers,
Wow.
and just kind of jumps down, and she's got these black leather, black kind of leather pants and these brownish black boots, and she kind of falls down to one knee with her warhammer kind of at the ready. And then this green dragonborn with this nasty-looking, glowing green sword that has this kind of sickly-looking energy surrounding it. And she's wielding a two-handed greatsword. And the dragon lets out this bellowing roar. As you see the visage of Dreadlord Halia Thornton herself. I'm going to share some of these images.
Oh no. Oh, I see. Who? Isn't the Dreadlord like the high one of like Ethan Taro
Yes.
is a Dreadlord, yeah?
Yes.
Oh.
And I'm pretty sure she's the most powerful one because she has a fucking white dragon.
Oh, she's hot.
Velia's hot.
Velia Zarga.
And this is, yeah.
Hot Ice Halia.
Oh my god, they're so
They're also hot.
Sierra's in front of me. Sierra's in front of me. Sierra's in front of me.
And you can see Elena just kind of taking a step back as the dragon just... and kind of looks over and kind of gazes out across the party.
Mallory's just gonna give a little shout out to you and come run back over here. The barbarian Thera kind of takes a step back and just looks over at Nim and just puts, with the warhammer in one hand, just puts one hand back and steps and proudly plants the warhammer into the ground with a thud. As the Dreadlord kind of slides off the dragon, being assisted by this green dragonborn and by Velia, and it makes her way down to the steps and over towards your guide. Over towards Elena. And she just kind of looks and gazes over at all of you, slowly, one by one. Looks back up at the Frost Giant. And the Frost Giant speaks before anyone else can. I am Tira Permafrost. I represent the interest of Frost Giant kind. We too have been searching for this artifact. But one of your agents, who I've grown quite fond of, has assured me that we can continue to cooperate in the future. The Ring of Winter, as you know, is a priceless ancient artifact of my people. My attachments to one of your own have made me sensitive to your interests. But I have been assured by the others in your party that we can form a mutually beneficial alliance moving forward, and that we can somehow work to address perhaps some sort of a shared use of the Ring of Winter, or form some kind of cooperative alliance based on the power. I'm sure you know, and she's like kind of just stops listening and holds out her hands towards Elena, and Elena just immediately gives Halia the ring. And not letting the giant finish, I need everybody to make a dexterity saving throw.
What?
Everybody.
Yeah, but not one. Here I come. Natural 20.
All right. As you're getting up, you brace yourself for a second impact.
I rolled a nat 1 and then a nat 20.
All right. So I want to roll for.
Dexterity saving throws.
Put the shadow up.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Ain't nobody knocking me on my ass. I rolled a nat 20, but I only got a 21.
All right.
Nat one.
So Nim,
Stay on there.
Nim, Allery, and the giant You say Hela kind of gets pushed back into kind of the side of the pillar here, but is able to stabilize. And Elena herself. Make a dexterity saving throw. Yeah. So Elena, Elena, Allery, Nim, and the Frost Giant. Dune's good. Reese is good. Okay, so everyone else is pushed back 10 feet and knocked prone as this massive surge of energy, as Halia places her hand on the ring, just... and this ring of kind of what's almost like an icy cloud of frost just erupts in every direction. Even the giant herself is kind of knocked back to one knee. And anyone who failed, again, is knocked back 10 feet and knocked prone.
I moved myself.
As the entire pyramid now is...
Which
yes, you
icon
made
is
it.
thrown?
What's that?
Which icon is thrown?
Whatever one you want to use. There's one of, like, someone that is kind of on all fours. You can probably use that one.
Yeah, I did that one.
Okay, yep. And the entirety of the pyramid now is engulfed in this natural storm of ice. You cannot see anything around you within 60 feet. There's just this encircling cone of wintry energy that has surrounded. And as she kind of holds up, perfect timing with the music, kind of holds up the ring and kind of slides it onto one gloved hand. And the energy is emanating from Halia. And you can see her blade kind of start to glow with this blue energy. And this kind of swirling magic is just kind of seems to emanate from her. And the dragon just seems to be relishing in this magic. And as you can see her eyes start to turn blue as this happens, like bright blue, and this kind of magical smoke and steam is emanating from her eyes. And it remains as she kind of looks at all of you and looks at Elena, who's slowly starting to get back up from being knocked back. So we have, yeah.
Elena's having a rough day.
Yeah.
So did I manage to get back up?
And yes, and as she speaks, her voice kind of just echoes a little bit. And it kind of echoes into the sky, and it starts to snow on the pyramid. And icicles begin to form on the sides of the central temple. And she just kind of closes her fist, her eyes still glowing blue, as everyone is kind of like, has this moment. And she finally speaks, and you can see, like, as the wind is blowing her hair, that she has the eye patch over her right eye. It's kind of like a reinforced armored eye patch, but there's still kind of smoke coming, with blue smoke coming out from behind it. And she just kind of looks over at all of you and says, as her voice echoes, "Well done, Zhentarim. Well done. Consider yourselves all due for a promotion. Whatever rank you were before, you are now all one higher. And give Ivan Telroa my regards. Come visit us in Neverwinter, when you have the time, when you're done with your mission here.
Oh, we will.
I am eager for you to see the work that I've been doing in the north, and the work that is yet to be completed." And she kind of starts, and her voice is still kind of echoing. She makes her way back over to the pyramid, and she's helped up by this green dragonborn. And the barbarian kind of jumps, kind of on just kind of is able to jump up and swing herself back up to the first layer on her own. And she just very casually just kind of grabs hold of one of the side saddles and throws herself up on top of the dragon, whose eyes also, as she gets back on the saddle, the eyes of the dragon also turn blue and start to smoke with this energy as her other two companions get back on the dragon and says, "And I'm glad we didn't have any issues here. Congratulations to all of you. You're forever in the debt of the Dread Lord of the North." And the dragon lets out this another kind of ear-piercing roar as Thera just kind of is a little bit speechless as she kind of tries to get herself back up and looks over at the giant and says, "The Frost Giant could be useful in Neverwinter. If you want to seek me out, you know where to find me." The dragon bellows one more time before slowly starting to flap its wings and takes off in the direction of the portal with another growl and a roar. And as they do, this massive gust of wind, almost kind of, you're all ready for it this time as you're all getting yourselves back up. You brace as this massive gust of wind just, and it's stinging, burning wind that is just whipping in every direction, and your face burns and the snow falls from the sky and icicles begin to form on the tips of your nose and fingers, and you have to kind of just, your hands are starting to go numb. And as she bursts through the portal, the portal itself just shrinks and fizzles out, and that ball of arcane energy stops glowing, and all the runes fall silent, and it clicks back into place once more.
Mallory is his T-pose on the ground and just like, I fucking hate when they do that.
After like that,
Man,
Trey's
we've
just
had
gonna
2
stand there.
promotions during this whole mission. I wonder if we'll get another.
Trey just stands there, is like, a fucking promotion? That's it? What the fuck?
Dude's gonna go up to Elena and be like, "You had that on you this whole time and you didn't mention it? What the fuck?"
Had a very specific use.
I'll take.
Also, what rank are we technically?
We
Because
were
we were wolves
wolves,
before.
right? And so now what's
We were
after
wolves.
wolf?
You're all
They're
vipers now.
fangs now, right?
Oh, nice.
But-
We're all vipers.
But,
Oh, Viper?
being a viper gives you access to faction training, which can allow you to learn a skill, which can allow you to learn a trade skill of your choice, purchase magical armor, and magical items. There are, yes, and magical armor and so there are 2 magical items that you can purchase, and there is also magical armor that you can have forged. You can get different types of magical armor. It's a little bit more expensive,
I'm
but
squishy. I want magical armor.
yeah, but
We
it,
have, like,
it gives
no
you
money.
access. Well, it gives you access to purchase to purchase faction items, faction armor, all of which are magical, and again, learning a trade skill of your choice.
Now, would we be able to take advantage of that considering we're in the jungle?
We can make that work
Okay.
somehow.
Okay.
The thing is, we
I have
no
a
money.
I have a way to make that work. Well, you can have.
Find
Trying
a
to think here for a
traveling
second.
I
salesman.
mean, we've got some money from the dragon, or not dragon,
Crocodile and Anteater.
Everyone,
Thing.
Yeah,
everyone make a
thing.
perception check.
Oh boy.
Oh no.
Oh boy.
13.
23.
Allery is T-posing on the ground.
All right. All right.
Gotcha.
Nim. On the
Also
grounds.
23.
On the grounds. Okay. Nim and Reese on the ground where the portal was. There is a. There is an off-green satchel that was tossed through the portal at the last second by the green dragonborn. Just on the ground.
I'll
Go
pick
get
it
it.
up since I'm right there, I guess.
Okay.
Okay.
It is just a large sack that's pretty heavy.
Okay, I'll go pick it up.
Okay.
You should pick it up. If it's pretty heavy, you
There's
should pick it up.
there's
pick it up.
there's this
Put it.
collection of overgrown moss over here, and which is kind of where it landed. It blends in
Okay.
with the area, but it was tossed out by the green dragonborn at the last second through the portal.
Well,
And
that's
All right,
Yes.
I pick it up
What's in the
and
bag?
open it.
okay, there is a total of. Actually, I got to do the conversion.
The conversion.
It's heavy.
It's
It's
about time they
heavy.
pay us.
Gold.
We've just been
It's
running around
heavy.
getting dirty in this forest.
I don't think we just got a promotion, y'all. I don't think that was all we got.
Did we get a payday?
Did we get a paycheck?
A heavy payday? A heavy
About
payday?
time.
Gotta get
About
the
time,
currency
really.
converter
Month
here.
late. They're a month late on the paycheck. This is.
Okay, coin converter.
It was like, I can convert. Let me convert. If it's copper, I'm gonna.
Oh my god. It's like 2 copper each.
There is inside. There are, let's see, 2, 4, 6, 8,
Platinum.
10. There is 1,000 platinum.
Oh, I guess that's pretty easy to split. 1,
Yeah.
2,
Holy
3,
shit.
4, 5.
Are we just splitting it with
so what
us,
if I
or
just
does it
keep
go
this a
to
secret and no one else
Elena?
can?
Yeah,
What if
so
I just
there's-
keep this a secret
well,
between me and Nim? And me and Nim only will.
Yeah.
only
Yeah,
know
you
about
don't have to give the NPCs anything. We can hand wave
Okay.
that. We can say, we can say that
Okay.
so we can say that there was 1,200, but there wasn't. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, there was enough to give
Yeah.
the NPCs their equal share.
Yes. Yep. There's enough to pay the NPCs. It's there, but it isn't. It's there for you to give to them, but it's not there for you to add to your totals. You know what I mean? It's like
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
like
yeah.
it's like one of those DM MacGuffin things that we can say where I'll say don't worry about the NPCs, but there's enough kind of
200
already.
platinum each?
Yeah,
We
big
get 200 platinum each.
big pog for sure. Yeah, you all get 200 platinum apiece.
One
I'm like,
platinum
I'm
is
gonna go
10
ahead and
gold,
add
right?
that.
But it's also
Guys,
very
later.
it's also very Zhentarim to just kind of be like, yeah, here's your money. The last second,
we're
just toss a coin sack through the portal.
Isn't platinum 10 gold pieces?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or
That's
10 gold-
2,000 gold pieces for all of you.
1,000 gold pieces.
Yeah,
baby.
hey, Dracula/Alucard is right on the money. Big poggers for all
So
of you.
I just pick up the satchel, look inside it, and I go, "You guys, we just got paid."
And promoted.
About time.
Also, Cat. Yes, I know. Cat from the other games. It's like, what? Zatara
Listen,
did
we've
leave
been
them
in the
coins. Yeah.
jungle.
Look, yeah, you go
Yeah.
get lost in the jungle for a long ass time, and then they'll pay you 200 platinum after like how long has it been? 2 weeks? A week and a half? Just trudging.
Also,
Like, yeah, we can
question.
abandon you into a jungle real fast. But hey, here's 200 platinum.
Um,
Catch you later.
We probably won't give you
Technically-
anything else until you leave, but
Yeah.
I do have a question. Technically, can I go to Valindra to get a gift, or do we still need to go into the temple?
You can hear
I'm
from.
curious.
You can.
I am interested in going into
Yeah.
the temple. with them.
Okay.
yeah, me too.
I want my gift.
Before
There is
Before we
also the
do that-
gift.
Yeah, I want my gift.
What's the
before
gift?
we do that, can I?
I don't know. That's why I'm very curious about my
Rory,
gift.
what are you saying?
Before we do the gift, can I do something? I've been trying to talk.
Absolutely. Go
Sorry.
ahead. Let's everyone please give the floor to Rory.
Nim's gonna turn to Thera and just be like, I can't even begin to thank you so much. I cannot express how much I owe you for that. That was. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Is our friend disappearing? Yeah, okay. Bye. Wait, who the fuck was that? Who knows?
Remember that D100 you rolled?
Mm-hmm.
Where I said it was Zhentarim. Technically, as written in the book, your D100 is Zhentarim. So during that session, I immediately started working on what that meant. But in the book, I think they're running off the general assumption that it's going to be an encounter for most of you. maybe like an aggressive mercenary band, much like yourselves, who are in search of a relic, who have conflicting interests. But in this case, with you being Zhentarim, I had to make an adjustment on the fly. So I added, being such a high number, being 100, it had to be something special. So we added the interaction with Forest Grey, which resulted in the blessing of the Raven Queen by proxy. But that also, it gave you a slight advantage here in this fight. So the D100, because you are Zhentarim, I didn't want to take having an advantage away from you. So basically, that got you that assassin crit at the beginning to make sure that Dragonbait really, but really the MVP here is Allery with that, with the natural one, with the sucking them out of, because they were just going to run away, but sucking them out of the dimension door.
I know you're probably not gonna say, was that bitch multi-classing rogue ranger?
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm doing with Astrid.
Because I was like, does she just sneak attack? Anyway.
All of you can make a history check if you want. Anyone that wants to make a history check, go ahead and make a history check.
I don't have I'm not proficient, but I'll do it.
Yeah, no proficiency required for this check.
No, I got a 13.
Okay.
I got a dirty 20.
Nice. That's the DC. So I'm gonna message Reese.
Oh.
You get a special secret.
And do with this what you will. I'm gonna take a second. Elle, where are you?
Let me just drink some water out of my giant ice cream.
Oh fuck! I keep forgetting water is a thing.
Yeah, dude, I've got.
Everybody, I'm gonna do a hydrate check.
Alrighty, that's interesting.
I just feel like we all need a hydrate check.
All right, so yeah, so Reese is the only one that might have some insight into that. But as you all stand atop the broken bodies of Artus Climber and Dragonbait, having recently encountered the Dreadlord Halia Thornton of Neverwinter herself, what are the rest of you doing?
Can I look for their weapons?
Go ahead, yep. Make an
I
investigation check.
Ah, shit, I only have a +1 though.
Okay. I would love to go into the temple.
No, 15. 15.
I also want to investigate any stuff they're holding. Like,
okay.
loot
So
their
do you want to
bodies.
give Trey? Trey's already investigating and has not rolled yet. Would you like to give Trey advantage? Would you like to, or would you like to do your own?
Do your own, because your investigation is probably a lot higher than mine.
own.
Okay.
I rolled a 15.
Okay. All right. So you find you find an additional 20.
You have +10.
You find an additional 23 platinum pieces, 57 gold pieces,
Sorry, can you
and
say that again?
45. There's no copper.
I think they're typing it.
So you find an additional 23 platinum, 57 gold, and 45 silver.
Are you sharing that with the party, dude?
That's what Dune finds.
Dune's the rogue.
Dune finds the money sack.
I'm looking for.
We'll probably share it
weapons.
with Trey since we're the ones looking at the bodies.
Okay.
So can we split that?
2? Yeah. 11.
Kind of a difficult number to split, but that's what there is. Sorry.
If it's an odd, just give the extra to Dune.
Okay.
Because Dune found the money pouch. That's fair.
You also find.
Ooh.
Hashtag rogue things.
You also find a rather intimidating-looking ornate dagger with runes carved into the blade itself, with a masterwork, leather-reinforced handle and a custom-made pommel at the far end of the handle end of the dagger itself, and an ornate-looking longsword that has sort of gold and silver filigree wrapped around the handguard and the hilt as well.
Interesting.
Hey, what's your name? Reese. Do you still have any more of that, like, detect magic thing?
The what thing?
The detect magic.
So,
Magic
Yeah,
awareness.
so Elena
I think I have
has
one more of that.
unlimited use of detect magic, but not identify.
Mallory
think-
has identify, but it takes me like a ritual to cast it.
Yeah.
Is that 10 minutes or an hour for your identify?
It doesn't
What-
say.
An hour.
What my thing does, it lets me see the school of magic if it's a spell, and just lets me know if there's magical objects around.
Yeah, so you can tell, unless you want to have Elena do it.
Yeah,
you would-
let Elena do it.
All right, so Elena
Yeah.
just giving a cursory glance over, her eyes kind of glossing over with this.
I want that dagger.
I want the longsword.
Her eyes glossing over with this kind of shadowy magic. She looks at it after a couple of minutes and is able to kind of snap back to reality. Well, these two weapons are certainly magical.
Certainly.
Allery will look over and say, I'll identify them, but I want to go in the temple.
Could you identify them first? I'm very curious.
Dune will be like, please.
I think you should hold them hostage so Trey comes into the temple with us.
No.
Tell you what, I'll identify one of them. And then when
Dagger.
we leave the temple, I'll identify the other.
Dagger first. Come
Sword.
on.
Sword.
Dagger first.
Flip a coin.
You hear, at this point, you hear this kind of serpentine voice coming from inside the pyramid that kind of echoes in all of your minds. And as you all are kind of shocked to hear this, kind of arguing outside amongst the bodies, you start to see a shape emerge from the mist as you all kind of gaze into the center, to the shadows in the center of this pyramid. You can see a shape begin to emerge in the shadows and the smoke. As the snow, by the way, is continuing to fall. It's lessening a little bit, but there is about an inch of snow now on the top of this pyramid. And as the voice speaks, the snow begins to lessen, and the dark storm clouds that had surrounded the temple, that were directly above you, that were causing this falling snow, slowly begin to dissipate as the snow eventually, slowly but surely, begins to subside. And as you all kind of gaze into the smoke and steam coming from inside the temple, you can make out the visage of a massive guardian Naga taking shape in the shadows, not quite parting the mists, but making itself known.
Allery was like held out their hand for Dune's dagger and then saw this and immediately started walking over there, just forgot.
And it says, "Stop! Approach no further.
I won't come any further.
You have desecrated this temple and the sanctity of Orolunga.
I'm so sorry. Is there any way we could help?
You are all villains, irredeemable beyond
I've heard that before.
Fair
Is she
assumption.
wrong?
beyond
No.
any stretch of imagination, beyond any hope of redemption.
Well, now.
Okay. Well,
Take the
Dramatic.
knowledge which you seek and remove yourself from my temple immediately."
Knowledge.
And the smoke and steam from inside the temple begins to like waft out and kind of cover the snow-covered ground. As it does, the snow begins to melt and water begins to trickle off the side of the pyramid. And the temperature begins to rise slightly. And Thera says, "I was just getting comfortable here."
Do we get like a question each? What's the kind of situation?
yeah, I definitely was thinking that this was maybe kind of desecrating this temple, but
This-
Yeah,
I
but-
immediately thought that. I was kind of hoping we would be able to get them off the temple before we fought them, but there is no
Yeah.
stopping
The
Elena.
smoke is approaching Allery. Do you let it? What do you do?
Can I use an Arcana check to kind of try to determine the nature of the smoke?
Absolutely. Hit roll an Arcana check.
Can I? Oh,
Money.
Nim just like is like, Hey, I think we might be overstaying our welcome.
Thera
Agreed.
Thera looks at Nim. What was your specific question to Thera again?
Said, man, I said something really from the heart and whatnot, but now I forgot.
Yeah. Oh no, I remember the gist. But I just didn't know if you said anything else after.
There wasn't really a question. It was
Yeah.
just.
Yeah.
It
So
was more of an implied, I don't know how I can make this up to you sort of thing.
Yeah.
Without actually saying that. It was just like you didn't have to do what you did, but you did, and I am so grateful for that.
So she gets down on one knee and holds out a hand to you as the smoke is coming out of the temple. We're gonna pause there for a second and go back to Allery. 19. The smoke does not appear to be harmful, but it's kind of creeping out of the temple at a rapid pace and also beginning to melt the snow. Do you relay that information to everyone else?
Yeah, Allery will, in the head of Trey, will say, will you quietly let everyone know that the smoke does not appear to be harmful, but to be wary. And then Allery will speak up to the Naga.
I say that out loud. I just relayed this information out loud to everyone.
I figure it's a little less weird than the person who's staring at the Naga. Allery will say, you said we were seeking information. Do you have knowledge to share?
No response. But as the smoke begins to engulf you, and Elena kind of was rolling herself backward, but as you relay that it doesn't seem to be harmful, she stops and, I'm just about done with all of this fuckery, and kind of lets the smoke just fucking else kind of engulf both her and Allery. And as you breathe in the smoke, you have this moment where your eyes just dilate and you can see just yourself in an out-of-body experience. And for all of you that let the smoke envelop you, does anyone not get into the smoke before I continue? After Allery relays it's not harmless. Or it's not harmful.
Dude, I get in.
It's going to eventually... Okay, it's going to eventually encompass the whole top of the terrace, and as it does again, the snow begins to melt, and the clouds, the dark, almost black storm clouds that were pouring snow on you from above also begin to part, and the temperature rises, and you can feel the rays of the sun above the jungle of Chult once more. And as the snow is melting, all of you have this moment where as you breathe in the smoke, your eyes grow wide, and you have this out-of-body experience where you're kind of sucked up above the pyramid, and your collective consciousness, your third eye, kind of turns toward a southeastern portion of the peninsula of Chult, and you can see the entire peninsula from a bird's eye view, and you're lurched forward once more, almost whiplash, but you don't feel pain or discomfort. You're just kind of sucked through time and space and towards this large city as you go back through the canopy, and you see before you a large city full of Naga and undead and witch doctors that are practicing ancient necromantic magics of the Yuan-Ti in this ancient city. And your consciousness is ripped below you, and you're ripped down to another level where you can see this in the darkness, just this ancient tomb. And you're ripped down to another level, and another, and another, and finally you reach this large chamber where you can see just shadows in the chamber. And there is this large molten pit of lava and this bridge that spans it, which leads to a large central platform. And in this platform, you can see a large glass cylindrical container of some kind that contains this misshapen form, this vague misshapen form. And you can see this billowing figure of pure shadow eclipsing this glass cylinder. And you can see that his head slowly turns over his shoulder. And as this happens, before you can identify exactly what's happening. You are sucked back through time and space, out of this chamber, and as you stop briefly at a large obelisk, just float there for a second, a large black obelisk, before you're sucked back through the jungle, up through the canopy, and you have the bird's eye view once more, and you're sucked back into the current time and present, and your eyes kind of return to a normal dilation once more. And as they do, the smoke begins to retract inside the temple, and the shape of the guardian Naga begins to fade, and it says, "Now, you have what you seek. Remove yourselves from this sacred place, villains."
Allery will bow their head and say, "Immediately." And I'm going to have... I'm so sorry. I know you want to say something, Trey, but give me 1 second. Allery is going to have the Shadow Spirit, or Shadow Spawn, pick up both of the corpses and drag them off, and is going to prestidigitation the area where the blood was spilled.
Okay, so the Shadow Demon and kind of displaces through the space between it and the bodies and begins to... This kind of large... What turns into this unidentified shape of shadows just begins to drag the two bodies off the side of the pyramid and into the distance. Through the water now, which is cascading off the side of the pyramid, just these two bodies sloshing through this water that is now kind of trickling off the sides of the pyramid.
You know what? Maybe I didn't kill that guy, but I didn't kill someone on sacred ground, so I think that's a win.
I don't care much for it. I have a question.
You can hear the bodies as the shadow just drags, and you hear a crack as the bodies fall down to the next layer, and then another distant crack as the shadow just drags these bodies off the side of the pyramid.
That's gonna hurt in the morning.
So go ahead, Trey.
Do you know?
How far can the shadow get away from you?
It's a good question. Allery, do you have the answer to that?
It doesn't have a limit according to the spell. Like, I can cast it within 90 feet, but it doesn't say that, like, anything... the only thing that makes it go away is if it drops to 0 hit points or the spell ends.
Okay, that's fine.
I was just gonna ask if the fact that, like, the inside of the cylinder thing, there was, like, pure shadows and there was a face in it, was it similar to how in Vecna's Fortress the shadow was kind of trapped or powering?
Seems completely different. It's similar in certain ways, but it seemed like the whatever the delivery mechanism was, or the intention was the intention itself seemed to be completely different. And there was a shadow outside of the cylinder, right?
Okay.
And the shadow was what looked over its shoulder. There was a second misshapen. There was a second solid but misshapen form inside of the cylinder behind this shadowy figure that was eclipsing the cylinder. So there's something inside of this glass cylinder.
Alright, well, making my way downtown, walking fast to get my gift from Valindra.
You hear, like, one final, like, slap and smack of bodies on wet ground as they reach the next layer in the distance. There is, like, a trail of blood also that's being dragged down the pyramid now.
Well, there's some water trickling down. Allery will assume that washes off. Allery's just going to clean up the main spot and then head out.
Alright. And as the smoke begins to retract in the temple, the face of the guardian Naga says once more, "It is a sad day in time. When those with dark hearts are the only that can save the realm." And it just, the smoke begins to swirl on the inside of the temple. And though the figure disappears, there is still this smoke that lingers.
Well,
I'm going to Valindra. I'm curious. I want this gift. I'm not about to wait 2 weeks to find out what this gift is.
Yeah, Trey just starts making his way down the steps. What are the rest of you doing?
yeah.
Allery's following.
All right.
We did kind of get kicked out.
Hero?
And as you... What was that, Emily? You said Era?
Emily didn't say anything. I did.
Okay.
I said Thera.
Oh, Thera. Okay. She looks. She's down on one knee now, and she looks at you and she says, "Yes."
No, I'm saying, can we cut back to?
Right. Yeah.
Cut
She.
away from.
Yeah.
her
No.
with
She was.
her hand out. And
Right, because
Nim
there was
put-
smoke.
Yeah, Nim had put their hand on hers, but I assume it's like their hands on like a finger.
Yeah. She has very large hands. They're cold to the touch.
I still keep my hand there. And then the smoke happened, I guess, around that time. I was just waiting to see if she was gonna say anything.
Yeah, she looks at you and she says, I never thought it was possible. It's strange. I don't understand it myself. That I can have such a connection to a small folk. Don't know what to make of my emotions, and the feelings that I am experiencing in my heart are strange, unusual. None that I have ever experienced before. But I lament the fact that, at least not to my knowledge, we cannot meet on common ground. Would there be a way to do so? I would very much will it to be so.
If a way to do so arises in the future, I will definitely let you know.
Perhaps there is some wizard or magic user of some kind, a shaman of my people, but not that I'm aware of, at least as far as between both Uthgardian and giant magic that can put us on even ground. But perhaps one of your wizards will be able to find a way to make it so that we can meet on common ground, and I've given up a great sacrifice for you today, Nim. Because
I understand.
And
I would not cut her off.
No, you say, and she kind of holds up a large finger and she says, because to me, and I don't know how to explain this to myself, I feel that our connection, that's my connection to you, your connection to me, whatever this strange connection is worth it. Perhaps I can find other ways to make a name for myself. But if I can do it with you by my side, if that is your intention as you made it seem, I suppose that would make it all worth it, wouldn't it?
I believe so. What are your plans from here?
I don't think I have any. Find a way for us to meet on common ground?
I'll definitely. Yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes.
This
Yes.
this the enlarged spell.
The enlarged spell?
Enlarge. Yeah.
That is a spell you can learn.
A little blue pill.
Eat this.
A little blue elixir.
You just give
all she
Nim
said
a
was
little bottle
meat.
that says labeled eat this.
She's
All
gonna
she-
meet on common ground, but Allery will probably be like, I don't know what that means.
Trey's confused.
Reese is fully walking away knowing what's happening. Just like, okay.
Nim just responds, I'll definitely also be on the lookout for anything of the sort. I know we'll probably be back to traveling by river, but I really wish that there was some way for you to accompany us, but I'm not sure where you're going from here. But I definitely will find a way to meet on common ground. And I want you to know that I absolutely feel the same.
I have a camp anchored on the northwestern coast, just at the edge of the mountains. It's where I landed in my longship, and it is where I have a small base of operations, so to speak, hidden in a small alcove. Well, small to me, large to all of you. I think I have a lot to think on. If you follow the mountains around to the northwest and circle around to the coastline, quite literally cannot miss this large cavern. It is just beyond the first bend of the mountains, through the water and tucked into a small alcove. So long as you follow these directions, when you are done with your business here, I hope you will find a way back to me. She looks back at the mountains behind her. Shouldn't be too hard to find. It's not that long of a trek from here. But I would hope that by then, potentially, we have found a way to meet on common ground. For now, I will maintain this encampment, and suppose I could clear my head with some hunting. If you have a way to message me in the meantime to let me know that you want me to stay and wait, then that can be arranged.
I do. Do you remember when I kind of popped into your head before all, and Nim gestures around this?
I do, though it was a little bit garbled.
Yeah.
The magic of this place.
Yeah. The barrier thing. It'll be a lot clearer. And I'll be able to do that again.
I hope you do. Please stay in touch. We can call it writing to each other, in a way. Through our minds.
Absolutely.
And then just ghosts.
Nim just kind of like puts both hands into one hand and just like kind of leans down.
She kind of gets down on both knees and kind of puts her hands under her chest like that and kind of just gets a little bit, this large giant is shifting on top of it is kind of, she kind of makes herself comfortable and just at least a little bit down in your height, and she just kind of brings her face close to yours and says, I'm looking forward to it. And you can feel the chill kind of in your face now, but you're face to face with her now.
I would take one of my hands and just like caress her cold cheek.
Yeah, so they're not. She is, I think, yeah, a little bit shorter for a frost giant. Yes, she's cold to the touch, but not.
I would try and reach up, okay, and see. I don't know how the height difference is with her on her knees.
So the way.
I assumed that like if she would bend down with me.
Yeah, the way that she is right now, you're basically face to face.
Oh yeah, we're face to face. Forgot about that. So I just kind of caress her cheek.
She
And I
smiles.
say, until we meet again. And I would just kind of kiss her cheek.
As you do, you can feel her get palpably warmer, the touch. She blushes. And just kind of smiles and is now beaming. And just and slowly begins to stand up. Grabs her hammer and just touches her cheek. It's very nice. I like that.
Nim just lets out that little chuckle. And kind of takes a step back a little bit and goes, I need to go join the rest of my companions.
Of course. I look forward to speaking with you and seeing you again. And perhaps if you find a way for us to meet on common ground, when you return to the alcove around the edge of the mountains, perhaps we can sail into the sunset together, as the poets say.
Now it's Nim's turn to blush.
I thought Nim didn't like boats.
You just hear Hella in the background, like, y'all are the weirdest fucking people I've ever met.
Hella, the fun has only just begun.
In my entire life, and just kind of deploys the, she has treads, but also the runes as well, as she just kind of starts making her way down. She's able to, and there are kind of chains, and there's a special tread that allows her kind of a little bit easier to kind of get some traction on going down the stairs. But also the runes are just giving her some extra leverage as she just makes her way down to the bottom.
Nim gets seasick though.
Yeah.
Nim, you're gonna be like making out with your girlfriend and just like throw up. That's so good. That's so romantic.
And she just takes her large hand and blows you a kiss. And kind of just puts a hand down and leans down, and as she just blows a kiss, you can feel like a chill wind just kind of surround you.
I kind of do that thing where someone's like, catch.
Yeah, you just...
And then I slowly back up and then give her one last smile and then turn around and join.
She does the same. Starts making her way to the other side towards the mountains.
That was too fucking cute.
That was very cute.
Gift. As Trey approaches Valindra, he's gonna be like, hope you didn't get too bored waiting.
I just put Dune and... Alright. So. I have a change in music.
Ooh.
It's just like, how do we not die?
Allery is staring at the shadow thing, and as when Reese walks up, is like, what should I name it?
Oh,
I'm looking into name.
Charlie.
By the way, I am going to... The information that you received, I'm going to switch maps here for a second. I have a surprise for all of you.
Oh.
Surprise! Do we see everything now?
I have a special surprise for Trey, but for now, the wisdom at Orolunga that you had sought.
Guys, I get a gift.
I also love how disappointed that Naga was. It was like, God damn, why do the bad guys always get the cool shit?
For
I
what?
know. It's like, why are we the bad guys though? It's kind of funny, but
I mean, you're
mean-
traveling to cosmic war criminals? You may be one of them? Question mark?
All the things.
Yeah, because we got to see the entire southeastern coast.
We got to see the Naga city, which I feel like the Naga should not have told us about.
Yeah.
No,
In
it
my
was a.
humble opinion.
It
I
was
think they
a.
showed us.
So it's Yuan-Ti. I misspoke.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
mostly Yuan-Ti.
that makes way more sense.
Yeah.
It's Omu. It's the
Yuan-Ti
Omu.
that we killed?
We killed
No.
everybody. Although it doesn't
Basically.
make sense for the
No, what-
Yuan-Ti to
It's
want to
probably the
help
same
find the
camp.
ancient city and the Soulmonger if she should have known where the ancient city was.
So
No, that was bullshit. She was lying.
Yeah, because she was a spy.
She was
right?
lying.
Right, but she still was helping us try to track down the Soulmonger.
Because she was only doing that to keep tabs on us. Because she was constantly informing.
by the way,
So
I want to congratulate everyone on finding the lost city of Omo.
Faces.
Did we level up?
No, but you did find the lost city of Omo.
We found?
Oh, that's where we're headed, right?
That's your
yeah.
destination.
We are so far away from that.
Oh my god, yeah.
Oh my god.
Hey, but we'll pass that wreck thing we can go check out.
Yeah.
That's true.
Where is it? Can someone
Um,
take
next
it?
to the left of the
Oh,
Peaks
okay.
of Flame.
Okay.
And as you reach the base of the pyramid, you all have this moment. It's really strange, where you reach the bottom and you can see Valindra kind of looking, but she has this kind of weird aura about her. That's kind of almost like she's not there. And she kind of looks confused as well. And you have this moment where it's very strange. It feels like you lose time. You're not tired. You feel rested. But you just kind of have this moment where you feel yourself like kind of get pulled forward. And as this happens, go back to Orolunga here. You have the moment where you just kind of appear at the base of the pyramid. The shadow demon, or the shadow entity that you had summoned, is gone. You are all, you're not tired, but you didn't rest. But it's strange, recalling when you had arrived. You hear early morning birds, and it is dawn the next day.
What?
And Valindra is standing before all of you, looking confused, and just kind of as you she kind of jumps a little bit. And standing behind her, though,
Who are they?
Trey.
Who dat?
Trey, you immediately
like-
feel a sense of rage build
Oh,
up
no.
within you as all of these red wizards of Thay kind of seem very surprised and shocked to see a group of adventurers just appear before them. And Valindra says, "Oh, that was strange. Trey, these are the people who murdered your family." And Valindra says nothing, but this man in front you recognize as the Archmage who led the attacks against your family to recover the book.
Oh,
And
bud.
he looks back at Valindra and says, "These are the ones who hold the tome, yes?" "Done, Valindra." And Valindra just turns back to Trey, gives Trey a knowing wink. Like a wait. And they kind of start grouping together and moving up just ever so slightly. I am Xylus Verlandir. Seems as if the Ring of Winter has already vanished. Interestingly enough, strange magic is at work here. But I will be taking that book. Valindra, if you please. And you can see this kind of shadowy magic around Valindra, this kind of dark magic that, Trey, you feel as familiar, start to glow around her. And you can see her hands, that it was once pale elvish skin, kind of turn into this shriveled, almost dead-looking hand, and that kind of magic creeps up her arm, and you can see this old, shriveled, half-dead hand, this kind of old hand that she clenches. The rest of her visage remains the same. And for a second, you can see her cheeks just sink in a little bit as this shadow magic surrounds her, and her eyes begin to glow black. Your attention is almost diverted around her, though, Trey. You hear your deity telling you, wait, wait, wait. Do you relay that? And because what is everyone else doing?
I'm wait.
Inigo Montoya, you killed my father for breakfast. So wait, Trey gets a thing too. Okay, Trey is gonna step forward very slightly, just gripping his axe, and then he's gonna like have his hand out like behind him to like in like a don't motion to everyone and just stay there. Just like eyeballing the archmage.
So Valindra, yes, go ahead.
Just like he's like eyeballing the archmage, baring his like tusks and like
yeah. And he says, "Oh, you're all fire and brimstone, I know. Give me the book, boy, if you don't want to get hurt. Because you have no idea who you're dealing with." And Valindra kind of grins and... Yes?
Oh, no.
Trey's gonna start laughing. Sorry.
I was going to... Hey, so I don't know how this works, what I need to say, whatnot. If I can speak to the dude who's asking for the book...
Sure.
Alone, like, for what... It says alone for at least 1 minute.
Oh.
Yeah, Trey's not leaving you alone.
I wanted to try and do words of terror.
Okay.
Good luck.
I don't think that would fit in this situation.
Okay.
Unfortunately.
That's fine.
I'm
I
sorry.
really want to use it.
Trey's gonna kind of start laughing, almost kind of in an unhinged way.
And he says, he kind of laughs back and just... Valindra, darling. One of our most powerful liches. Would you please give these individuals a demonstration in red wizardry? Show us how we do things in they. You can almost see like this skeletal outline of her skull and these sunken cheeks as she kind of grins, and this shadow magic surrounds her. And the rest of you don't know what's happening with Trey. You just heard that this woman is a lich. And you're all, and she's kind of glowing with shadow energy. But you see Trey with his hand out, like wait, like with one finger up, kind of gesturing.
Valerie will pop in real quick to everyone without waiting to see if they reply, and just say hold.
Yeah.
And
I'll stand behind Trey and like basically I'm at the ready to fight, but I'm waiting to see what Trey wants us to do.
Dune is crouched.
Because this is Trey's fight, so I want to know what Trey wants to do.
Under my breath, kind of like to see if I get a response from a deity, just trying my luck, like wait for what?
Valindra takes a step forward and just stands as this energy. You can all feel this the rest of you, other than Trey, you feel a familiar sense of warmth. Or that turns to cold. But that's normal. The rest of you have this chill that kind of creeps down your spines at hearing whatever this woman is. and these shadows begin to just spread from behind her as she looks up at Trey and says, "A gift," and slowly turns. She begins to levitate, and where her feet are, there are these shadows that kind of, this cloud of shadow energy that begins to form and kind of swirl around the lower portion of her body, and these shadowy tendrils that just extend from behind her, and she slowly just turns to face the red wizards and just kind of takes her hand and manipulates the shadow energy and just wafts backward ever so slightly and then lands on her feet. The shadow energy still kind of now swirling around all of her body. It eventually slowly starts to subdue, and her arm slowly returns to normal once more, and her eyes go from this black back to the pale blue of the elf. And she just kind of folds her arms and smiles. And this red wizard at the front says, "Work your magic. What are you doing?" And she just continues to smile at him with this very creepy, very knowing, not creepy, but this smile that would send a chill down anyone's spine. Like, you look at her smiling very almost flirtatiously, and even though she is currently now in a fairly attractive visage, all of you just have this moment where you're like, ugh. And she just... This is her theme, by the way, that I have playing. And she just smiles. And this man who introduced himself as Xylus just kind of has this moment where he kind of puts his hands up at the ready and looks back, kind of almost in shock, and says, "What is the meaning of this? What is the meaning of this?" And Valindra holds up her hands to Trey and says, "I serve a greater power now." Back at Trey and says, doesn't say anything at first, and just gives him another knowing smile. And he says, "Your phylactery. You can have it smashed right. My phylactery has already been moved to the heart of Uptown. I have already retrieved all of my things from Faye." And she just kind of takes some shadow, and this shadow energy kind of swirls in her fingertips. You can hear like these kind of groans of souls and this shadow energy that kind of moves in and out of her fingertips. And the rest of you get very uncomfortable by her proximity. But she looks back at Xylus and says, "Good luck getting up to the heart, but you won't find it in Faye." And he just... "Traitorous wench!" And she just... "You'll see. You'll see." And looks over at Trey and says, "A gift for you."
Am I free to act?
She just says... And all the red wizards begin to immediately channel energy as they in their hands as they start to slowly back up. And you just hear him shout one more time, "Filth!" What are y'all doing?
I'm gonna approach, get like really close and really like uncomfortably close, so like my axe kind of at his throat, and use my channel divinity and use the vow of enmity, so I get advantage anytime I try to hit him. And I'm basically just growling and was like, "I'll have your fucking head."
And at
and
that,
then I would like, oh, fuck.
at that, I would like everyone to roll initiative. And also know that that's where we're going to end it for the week.
Oh,
Oh
Do I get
boy.
advantage on the initiative? I'm gonna have high initiative. And
Montoya, you killed my father. Prepare to die.
Advantage on the initiative? No, because they had actions that they were holding kind of in a way. So
Hey Emma, did you click your character before you rolled initiative this time?
I
I
did.
rolled.
Emily cannot because she's on an iPad.
I
okay.
rolled a dirty 20.
Roll 20 works on an iPad?
You can. A lot of it works on an iPad. She can't move her character token, but she can view everything and like open everything.
I can view it, I can partially see the map, and I can see my character's thing. And the chat.
I don't know
but
why I'm
the chat
asking
doesn't
this,
always
because like I use Discord for my image, for my video here on an iPad, so.
Roll20 is really weird on mobile though.
I was shaken with that persuasion with the frost giant
Oh my god.
before they came through the portal.
Valindra
I
just
was like,
yeah. Sorry, go ahead.
no, I
Okay,
was
go.
just like shaking with that initiative, like my heart, not that initiative, that persuasion check when I was saying all that stuff. And man, that high school theater improv came in handy because it just started coming to me.
My hands are shaking and my nails kind of dug into my palms.
Oop.
I want to kill these bastards so fucking bad. I need to wait 2 weeks.
I know.
I know.
Rory messaged me like, "What's going on? Who are these guys? Are we gonna run?" And I was like, "No. We're about to murder."
No, I said
Murdered.
I said cast darkness and scatter, because you have no idea how much we've like in some of our other games had like cast darkness and then yelled scatter and all ran in different directions.
Yeah.
See, what I was gonna do was run straight at them and cast Arms of Hadar, which means like Trace chest would just open and engulf them in tendrils. But like I was told to wait, so.
I have a question.
All I gotta
Essie.
say about
Yeah.
this is
Essie, did we get a rest, like a long rest?
Nope.
Nope. Okay.
We did not.
Because I know you said the time passed, but we didn't feel.
Because
Yeah,
like...
time
you
was
didn't
a lie.
you didn't get a point of exhaustion, but it just for some reason the next day.
Okay.
It seems as if the magic
But, you know,
yeah.
time is a lie.
Yeah.
Time is just
Well,
Time is
yes.
illusion, and so is Pan.
I want to see who's
time
going
is an
first here.
illusion.
Who needs to add their initiative? Dune, I think. Dune, what's your
Dune.
initiative?
And Trey.
21.
Nice.
I rolled a 20.
Yeah. I always get a super high initiative, but I don't like going first.
I really hate that like the dudes are the ones that are going first here.
So what's
I mean,
what's your initiative, Trey?
20. It was dirty 20. I mean, Dune, if you don't want to go first, you can always hold your action.
Oh, dude's
Or hold your
Okay,
turn.
so
I think it's.
I always
Dune,
forget you can do that.
Dune, Trey, one of the apprentice wizards, then Reese, then the Archmage Xylus Verlandil, then Nim, and then 2 of the red wizards back to back. That's going to be dangerous. And then Allery, and then Elena, and then Hella. So that's good. The NPCs go last. Hella doesn't have too much of an attack. She has a few kind of standard stable ones.
I don't have too much either.
I'm worried because I'm at half health already.
Yeah, so that's the
That
point. So
one
this is
hit,
like one
that
big
was
long
good.
battle. That's why Artus Climber and Dragonbait were. I mean, you had your D100 is gone now. That half orc, she helped the Zhentarim get the Ring of Winter. She's gone. Frost Giant heading back to the alcove. So you've used up all your. This is all you. This is all y'all. And Elena can't do shit apparently. So.
It
Yes.
Remember
sucks.
next week she'll come in and she'll be just super, or I guess in 2 weeks,
Yeah.
3 weeks, whenever we come in.
3 weeks?
Free.
The
3
next
weeks.
2 we won't be here.
Yes.
Yeah, free.
Yeah, 3 weeks.
the The good news is I only used one spell that time. However, when we were going to the thing, I also used one of my 3rd level spells. But I have
Imagine having 4 slots.
3 level 1 spells, 3 level 2 spells, and 1 level 3 spell left. So
I can get another one of
maxed out
those
one.
spirits. And it can tank for us because it has more hit points than most of our casters do.
In the meantime, I just want to thank the Twitch stream for hanging out with us. We're going to stop the Twitch stream. So thank you everyone so much. Pretty stable night. I think we lost a few people when I was trying to figure out what was going on with Elena and with your Zhentarim tag along. Because they have like 8,000 things in their character sheet, so I was trying to remember which one went where. But yeah, pretty steady for tonight, so not too bad. Thank you everyone for hanging out with us and for chatting. Always much appreciated. We love you all very much. And for anyone that is in our Discord, which you can find on our Twitter, you can certainly join. So you can have midweek conversations in between Twitch streams. Feel free to hang out with us there. You can catch Pokemon. You can talk about whatever. We have all kinds of stuff. We have an 18+ channel, all kinds of good stuff. So feel free to pop into the Discord, say hello. For all those of you that are already there, we'll see you in chat. And I want to thank everyone again for just hanging out with us. Y'all are so amazing. And remember that the VOD is going up on YouTube, and we'll have that available, and we'll post in the Discord as well as on the Twitter and on Facebook. So we'll see you all in 3 weeks, because again, there is no stream next week or the week after. So the next time we'll be here is Saturday the 29th? No.
21st.
22nd.
Yes, Saturday the 22nd, yes.
Saturday the 22nd. We will be back for another stream of the Crystal Coven Chimeras Tomb of Annihilation. So, great session everyone, and we'll see you on the 22nd of May.
Goodbye.
Happy spring everyone!
Hell yeah.
And Beltane.
Yes.
Yeah.
And blessed Beltane. But and May Day for anyone that celebrates. So until next time, witches, we love you very much. And we'll see you in the Jungles of Chult in 3 weeks. Bye everybody.
Bye.
Bye.